It is the Friday edition. The That Was Not Awesome edition. Although it was quite a rally. We need to do something different on defense.
Interesting.
Or we could just run it back edition. That's a BS question, man. Edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker. Streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, maybe. And, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson back from Green Bay, where he took in the game last night. And he was one of the few people not wearing Honolulu blue of the Detroit Lions. Woo! We'll talk about that. From his undisclosed location, he is not in the Ring of Honor. He is in the Packers Hall of Fame. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. A little tired. Long night last night, but just don't know. I think for me, the fears I had going into the game and why I thought Detroit was going to win the game, they were, I guess, punctuated. I was nervous that their offensive line and their defensive line were going to be more physical, that what Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions have built is a tough physical football team, and I wasn't certain that Green Bay could handle it. I felt like the D-line could. I was very nervous about the O-line, and a lot of those concerns were, I guess, punctuated with how that game played out last night. So, not shocked, not surprised, disappointed in what we saw. I thought it would be a little more competitive than what it was last night.
Yeah. 27-3 was not what you were anticipating.
I did not. No, I thought it would be a tight game. I didn't realize that Detroit was going to pound the football down our throat the way it did, and I did not think Aaron Jones being healthy with A.J. Dillon and everything else, you'd see 7 carries for like 4 yards or whatever it ended up being.
Yeah, it was ugly.
It was bad, and the bottom line, and this is where the Green Bay Packers have to look at, this was not a growing pains. That's why I didn't tell Jesse to not play it. I'm assuming he's just tired from his long trek back from Lambeau.
It's not easy,
but I didn't
Jesse.
want him playing it anyways. This wasn't a growing pains game. This wasn't one of those games. I felt like last night was these guys are a lot more physical than we are. What the hell are we going to do about it? That's what last night's game was to me.
So the afternoon started with the news that David Bakhtiari was going on injured reserve, and then it just got a lot worse.
Yeah, if you noticed yesterday, I think you knew that was coming too, right?
Well, I knew he was going on injured reserve. I didn't know that he had undergone a surgery the day before.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he has another surgery.
Thank you, HIPAA, for the record.
I did not know that he has another surgery scheduled, which would bring the grand total to 5 surgeries that he will have undergone on that knee since tearing his ACL on December 31st, 2020. I did not know that it was likely then season ending. I was busy trying to calculate, all right, well, this would be game 1 then, so he could come back for that Rams game in week 9. No. So you have that.
Yeah, when he didn't play, Jason, when he didn't play last week on grass,
yeah,
I had a very good inkling we were looking at a Dunzo scenario.
Yeah, and I was holding out hope because we like David around here that it was let's just save him for Detroit because we know what they've got up front. We'd like our best guy to be on the field. And when he was ruled out on Wednesday, that was when I started to think, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So they don't have him. They don't have Elton Jenkins, who's a very, very good player. So I wasn't overly surprised with how ugly things got. What I didn't understand, and I do grasp the concept of saying, look, these guys are really good at stopping the run. We saw what they did against Atlanta, something that we clearly couldn't do ourselves, so we're not going to run into a brick wall. But, 6 consecutive passes to start the game, and I think he was pressured on all 6. Probably not a good idea. And quite frankly, Jordan struggled, but so did everybody else. But up front is where it starts. You talk about it all the time, and they were, to use one of many Matt LaFleur-isms from last night, manhandled.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, Tausch, I was a Dan Campbell skeptic initially. I thought this shtick will wear thin.
Yeah, you and Dan Campbell are not going to – you guys will not be boys.
No.
He is like the polar opposite of you.
He is, no doubt. But
yeah.
I feel, if we're being honest, were you skeptical that would have staying power, his whole
yes.
spiel, right?
I think what we don't see – yeah, for sure. I just think today's modern athlete ain't about that life. But I think Dan Campbell's smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he is not probably as I don't want to use the term rugged. I don't think he's as raw as he seems to be. I think he lets his emotions out. Guys dig that.
Sure.
And I think he has sold the why. We need to be this way to win. And what I give him a ton of credit on, last year at 1-6, to keep the crew together and bang they were still banging physically during practice and training camp. We saw them on Hard Knocks.
Right.
That's a hard sell in today's day and age.
Agreed.
He got his guys to buy in.
Right.
Because he's gotten he's gotten the right kind of cats. It's not a bunch of high-end elite. It's more, this is the brand we play. These are the guys we're identifying. And they buy into the system because their style, not many teams do what they do. This is a throwback. Dan Campbell's a throwback.
He is, undoubtedly.
And he's gotten his guys to buy into the lunch pail attitude. As if he hadn't turned it around last year, he'd gotten fired. If they finished 3-13 or 14, he's out. They're 1-6. They were on the doorstep of being
like losing
done
to the
so.
A's in a 3-game series.
Almost exactly like that. So I give them a ton of credit. I was skeptical, but I know that stuff plays in spurts. It doesn't play over the long haul. But what he's done is I don't think he's at the point where he's still beating these guys into submission. Now it's we're going to do this is how we have to play to win. Guys buy in, but I don't think he's doing that on Fridays and Saturdays. He's doing it in a smart way, and his guys have gotten buy-in. And the hardest thing, and I think why Matt LaFleur was emotional and he was so frustrated, and what did he say to Pete Doherty? Shut up, Pete. I don't remember what.
Come on, Pete. It's a BS question, man.
Coaches don't like it when the perception is those guys are a lot tougher than you. They're more physical than you. That's a shot at the coach's manhood. That's a shot at their identity, and it's 4 in a row now. That's not a blip. That's a trend. And while last year's games were tight and it wasn't the same dominance that we saw, make no mistake about it. I told you this yesterday. It's pretty clear the Detroit Lions don't think the Green Bay Packers are tough. They don't think they're physical. They thought, we're going to get you into a street fight and we're going to beat the living blank out of you.
Yeah.
And they did it. So you call your shot. Usually people bow up. And when the Packers, they finally bowed up a little bit in the second half, but there was no bow up in that first half. It was, we are going to ransack you, and we're going to just crush you. And that's what, in essence, happened in that first half.
So, but the Packers aren't built to play that type of style.
I disagree on the defensive side of the ball, Jason. I would say this. Kenny Clark and the guys up front, Rashawn Gary is tough and physical.
Right, but
I would push back on you on that a little bit.
Well, if I finish, then decide to push back on me. They wanted to get faster. That was the big thing, right? The last 2 years. And they have succeeded in that. But I'm not sure you can be super physical and super fast at the same time. And offensively, they got their asses kicked. That's what Matt LaFleur said, right? And if you have an offense where before you had Aaron Rodgers and now it is, look, this offense is predicated on throwing the football effectively and being the quick game and getting the ball out and all. But your offensive linemen aren't. This ain't the 2003 line that could protect Rodgers or Favre, but could also road grate you into submission in front of Amon Green. Fair?
Yeah, I'd say that's
so.
fair.
So offensively, they're not going to bully ball you. And the one guy that they have as a running back that is supposed to be able to do that isn't doing that right now. And again, sometimes it's because he's got someone tackling him right after he's gotten the ball, but sometimes he's not moving the pile. So on that side, I agree. You mentioned Rashawn Gary. You mentioned Kenny Clark. You know, again, I don't know what Carl Brooks and Colby Wooden are going to become, but right now, there are young guys playing a position where you have to learn the level of physicality in the NFL as compared to what you did in college at Bowling Green State and at Auburn. And so they are in a process. And T.J. Slayton is an inconsistent player. He was an inconsistent player at Florida. He's an inconsistent player in the NFL. I don't know what Devontae Wyatt is, why it's so hard for him to be physical at the point of attack against the run. I don't know. We talk about his quickness and the way he can get after the quarterback as a defensive tackle, but I'm not sure that he's helping them stop a 200-yard rushing game. So you put that all together, and they are not physical to the same degree. They have some physical players, but they are not as physical. Now, would you like to push back on that?
No, I don't think I can push back on that, but I think the defensive line and how teams are playing defense in this league, it's not the days of Dean Lowry and big, strong, like two-gapping guys that are just, taking up space. Those days are gone. Detroit doesn't have those guys. That's not how they built their team. They have guys getting in the backfield making plays. That's how you got to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think you see Green Bay, they've done that against crappy O-lines. Detroit, I've said this for 2 years. I give him a ton of credit. Their right tackle's a stud. Sewell is a stud.
Yeah.
Decker is a really good left tackle. He played hurt.
Yeah.
He wasn't great last night, but he was good enough. And their interior three, they got the job done. That is Green Bay's D-line. I know I've taken a lot of heat for this. I like Green Bay's D-line. I think you're going to see it get better and better. They got bully-balled a little bit last night, no doubt. The numbers will dictate that they did. But that is a salty, good group up front. Look at how they did against the Chicago Bears. They dominated that group because roll your eyes all you want. A lot more O-lines like the Chicago Bears than there are like the Detroit Lions, I promise you that. And unfortunately right now, Green Bay's offensive line, they ain't up to par with where Detroit's is. Now, a lot of that has to do, again, I think we are going to have to put a moratorium on David Bakhtiari. His season's over. He's not going to play. So we could sit here and make excuses and say, well, if he's coming, you knew going into the season that this was a very good possibility he wasn't going to play much. You knew that. They knew that. I knew that. You knew that. David knew that. Now, Elton Jenkins coming back would be huge. But I do have to think that you have 10 days here. You got to bye. I think you're going to have to look seriously at what you're doing at center. The more Bulaga continued to pound on this point for the last 3 weeks, I honed in and watched a lot of that last night. It ain't pretty in there. Way too much leakage. It's like they don't know how to pick up a stunt. It was tough. It's tough to watch. And when you're giving all of that penetration up and you're giving all of that up, it happens occasionally. Everybody gets beat, but it's so consistent that something is going to have to change there too so we can get after the biggest problem this team has had when they've gotten beat, which is twice. You can't run the football. Even when they played the Bears Aaron Jones ran it well. You didn't see a ton else. And with where this team is built to play good defense with all its draft picks, running the football and play action pass. They're not built to fall behind 27-3. Nobody is, but this team definitely isn't. Last night was a microcosm of how not to do things. This is the formula to beat Green Bay. Detroit has that formula right now, and that sounds crazy for some of us that never – I don't feel like I hardly ever lost to Detroit.
You did.
Most of us that played in the 90s and in the 2000s, we didn't lose to Detroit. Now you have Sewell walking off saying this is Ford Field. And, by the way, a lot of blue and Honolulu blue and silver in the crowd last night. So the whole thing, it was just a crap night to be a Green Bay Packer fan. That's how I looked at it.
I'm eager to hear your assessment of how Jordan Love played. Matt LaFleur said it's hard to throw the ball when you're on your back, but I am eager for your assessment of his performance. I also want to get into what the crowd looked like and why that might be, because you're only given a few opportunities to make requests of the league when it comes to scheduling. Bob Harlan used to always say, we can't have night games for our Milwaukee crowd in the second and fifth home games of the season. I think that might have factored in a little bit in the number of Honolulu blue jerseys you saw last night. We'll talk about that. But we need to talk about Joe Barry and about how Matt LaFleur talked about the defense last night.
Is he going to get fired?
We'll talk about that coming up. If you have chosen someone other than Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to do your new replacement windows, you should fire them and call Gina Della. That would be the smart play there.
Indeed. We don't know if it's time to replace your old defensive coordinator. Certainly seems like a lot of people are, and it certainly feels like Matt LaFleur is thinking more about it. But there's no question it's time to replace your drafty old windows and doors. You don't do it in the dead of winter when the season is wrapped up. You better do it now. Pella's a great deal going on. Right now, they only got, 1 day left. Ooh. Pay as low as $19 a month per window, $75 a month on patio doors, and the installation is completed. No mess and no hassle. That won't be the case up in Green Bay. There will be a mess and a little bit of a hassle, but not with Pella Windows and Doors. They just leaves nothing but perfect results behind. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. 6.99% APR financing for 120 months. Certain restrictions do apply. See showroom for details. This offer ends tomorrow.
I want to get Jesse's takeaway from being in the stadium with so many Lions fans, and I want to talk about Joe Barry before we get to positives and negatives and open up what I would call the vent line for people today. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. The Packers lose at Lambeau/Ford Field 34-20 after falling behind 27-3 against the Detroit Lions. We'll talk about it all next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2023 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with National Customer Credit. Offer expires October 2nd. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see our current electric vehicle inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Audi Madison off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 7th. Position players, pitchers, and catchers can showcase their skills for over 40 college coaches scheduled to attend. Registration is open to all players in the 2024 to 27 graduating years, and spots are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Sign up today at grbacademy.com. That's grbacademy.com. Rays Baseball, raise your game.
Football fans, tailgating season is here, and there's no better way to celebrate football being back than with BotaBox. BotaBox is giving away tickets to 2 separate winners for a VIP Tundra Trio pregame tailgate party experience and game tickets for December 3rd's Green Bay versus Kansas City game. Fans can enter by scanning the QR code posted at participating BotaBox retailers in Wisconsin through October 29th. Winners will be announced on October 30th. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 years or older to enter. BotaBox Vineyards, Manteca, California. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for more details.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
My eye doctor gives me a lot of great advice, but the best piece of advice she ever gave me was where to go for LASIK. TLC Laser Eye Centers. Did you know that TLC has performed over 2.3 million LASIK procedures nationally, including treatment for over 10,000 doctors? Doctors recommend TLC because that's who they trust with their eyes. So book your free consultation now at TLC Laser Eye Centers. The doctor's choice for LASIK.
Right now, TLC is offering $1,000 off their Wavelight laser when treated in October. That's $500 off per eye. So call 888-TLC-2020 or visit SaveOnTLC.com. That's SaveOnTLC.com. The doctor's choice for LASIK. Must mention this promotion and be treated in October of 2023 to qualify. $1,000 off for both eyes on standard Wavelight price. $500 off for one eye. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See details at SaveOnTLC.com.
Did you know that you can help support the many programs, benefits, and services provided to Wisconsin veterans and their families through the Veterans Trust Fund by simply making a donation on your Wisconsin income tax form? Your donation to the Veterans Trust Fund helps the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs with initiatives like Zero Veteran Suicide, programs that transition homeless veterans to stable housing. Donations also fund on-the-ground efforts by Veterans Service Officers to personally assist veterans in each and every county in Wisconsin. You can help support those who defended our freedom by making a tax-deductible donation to the Wisconsin Veterans Trust Fund. Every donation, regardless of size, is greatly appreciated. For more information, please visit wisvets.com. That's WIS vets.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, with funding provided by the Milwaukee Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Eight 844-770-3776 if you want to get in queue with Jesse to vent your frustrations or your displeasure. Look, maybe I'm not the right person to say this. I didn't find yesterday that discouraging. The defense certainly was disappointing. There's no doubt about it.
I'll say this. Not discouraged at all by Jordan Love, the receiving core, the character and the fight of the team. I don't know. How can you look at this, Jason, and say you're not discouraged about the guys up front?
Because I think I know what Royce Newman and Josh Myers are, and they're struggling. You didn't have the other two guys on the left side that are your two best, and I think Rasheed Walker, we want him to be good. He's a guy who played 4 snaps last year, and now he's your left tackle. He's going to have ups and downs against really good players. So, yeah, it sucked. I just fundamentally disagree with you about the defensive line. We both like Kenny Clark a ton, but it's Kenny Clark and the Pips, and you can change out Dean Lowry and Jaron Reed for 2 young guys, but they've been bad against the run it feels like for as long as I can remember. And at some point we have to say either they're running it, they're either doing it wrong or they have the wrong people. So I don't feel the same as you do about the guys up front. And Kenny Clark can't do it by himself. So I am intrigued, though, by Jesse's experience at the game, because when I looked up during the national anthem, there was a lot of blue. A lot of blue. And this was a gold package game on a Thursday night where most people that go to the gold package games live in the greater Milwaukee area. And you hear people besmirch Milwaukee fans all the time.
Oh, God, yeah. Get rid of the gold package, they say. We're done with this. I don't think that's a good I think that's you better watch yourself with those comments too.
Right. And Jesse, you went. And you're dragging today.
Oh yeah. I don't think I can do the Thursday night game and then work the next day anymore.
And that's what I'm saying.
What a hero.
No, don't. That's not what we're doing.
No, that's what I'm doing. Maybe it's not what you're doing.
In fairness, it's usually what we're doing, so I appreciate that it's not.
Right, but what you just said, in my opinion, is why you saw so many blue jerseys in the stands. Because other people were smart enough, no offense, to say, I got to work tomorrow. I'm not going to the game. Because by the time it's over and I get out of the traffic and I get now maybe you were able to leave early given the way things were going.
We did.
But even then, what time did you get home last night?
Just shy of 1 in the morning. We got home to Madison, yeah. Thanks, Tausch. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't see you up here.
I was working till 12:15, and I worked 3 hours from here on ESPN.
I'm not questioning
so
your
I
work
put in
ethic.
about a 12-hour day yesterday.
Yeah, so did I. We all worked hard there, bruh.
Hardest working
I don't know
show
what you're
right
yelling
here.
at me
Look
about.
at this.
Yeah, what
Because
are you yelling at me
you're
about?
ruining the point I'm trying to make with Jesse.
Oh.
That's why.
Okay,
if you want to make fun of
continue
him,
on.
fine, but let him talk first.
That's what I was doing. That is what I was doing. I was making fun of him. So
I'm
what are
aware
you doing,
of what you
LaFleur?
were doing.
Is that a serious question, Jason? Is that serious?
Jesse, how many Lions fans were surrounding you?
There weren't that many around us where we were, but, I mean, they were there. I didn't think it warranted the outrage that I was seeing on social media throughout the game and this morning and catching up on everything.
Was it 30%, Jason? What's the percentage of Lions fans in the building last night?
It felt like that game. Now, again, I don't know if enough people left the way Jesse and his group did to clear out the stadium, and then you looked around, and it was all people in purple a couple of years ago. Remember that against the Vikings? But it was, I would say it was more than 30%.
By the end, I mean, there were a lot of Packers fans that were walking out when we did, when they went down 34-17 with, 7-8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, something like that. That's when a lot of people, including us, headed for the gates. So I understand why at the end of the game it was very heavy blue in the stands.
And my point is that Bob Harlan, I told you guys this last night, he would make very few requests. Ron Wolf wanted him to request that we never have 3 straight road games. That was his one request.
Fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when they won it in 96, they had 2 3-game road trips. So
Is that right?
That really pissed off Ron Wolf. So that was one. 2, we'd like to have as many games in December as possible. We understand that you can't give us 4 games in December, but we like having December home games. Okay? Fair. But the biggest request that Bob Harlan would give that wasn't football-driven, because those 2 are football-driven, obviously, was please don't give us Monday night games or Thursday night games in the 2nd or 5th home game on our schedule, because those are the Milwaukee games, and Bob Harlan didn't want people having to drive back on I-43 or wherever they're going, back to Madison on 41 and 151 because 26 is closed, and then having to go to work the next day. That's what, and he also knew that pragmatically for the team, those tickets were more likely to be sold. Now, back then, you weren't putting them on StubHub or these other SeatGeek and whatever else, where anybody, including the opposing fans, were able to get more access to them. It's a different ball game now. You couldn't go to the game back in the 90s. You were selling your tickets to your neighbor who was willing to do what Jesse did and stay up late and get back late. Now, that's how you end up with a Lambeau Field that has that much of the opposing color. And I didn't think they were that big of a factor either.
Yeah, does Mark Murphy make that same request? And then the other question I have is, okay,
my understanding is no.
Okay, well, that's something they obviously whoever takes over from Mark should look at doing. But the other thing is, why not just wait and say when the schedule comes out, say these are the 2 gold package games? Well, you have to do that before the schedule comes out?
No, I agree. Again,
so
it's always been the second and the 5th
excuses.
games.
Oh, it is.
It has always been that. But you could change it, and you solve things. I like that solution.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Oh, it's got to be game 2. I think you do need to keep one of them to be the Bears, Vikings, or Lions, so pick which one fits, and then grab another game so that you get one division rival. But you don't need to jam this in, and if it's going to do what happened last night, I am not going to besmirch people for selling their tickets. I'm not. You guys
can
if
you
you
should.
want.
I'm not going to.
I don't have a problem with it. Everybody on social media is killing it. Lions fans wanted to come in. They're going to pay. They're going to do it. Just like I don't besmirch it when Packer fans go fill up these other stadiums. Now, can you criticize? Absolutely. You could say this is, if it's whether it's an organizational thing and having a Thursday night game, which obviously Bob Harlan felt like was not something in the best interest. You need to focus on that, try to figure out how to alleviate it. But I give Detroit credit. They came in droves. Don't think that was any big part of the game because Jesse, was the crowd loud when they were supposed to be? Did Jartsy have to get after anybody?
The crowd was fine, I thought, when the Packers had big moments early on. The Rudy Ford interception, crowd was loud. Third downs, crowd was loud.
Steinhoffler, nice job.
That's a dub. I didn't think that the crowd was necessarily impacted. Look at the opener of the season in Kansas City. There was a lot of Honolulu blue there, too. I think more so than the gold package situation last night, it was just because it's a Thursday night game, there's fans, whether it's the gold package or whatever, that are more willing to sell their tickets because of work and babysitters and everything that comes along with that. And Lions fans are maybe the most excited they've ever been about their team. And it's a short road trip to go to Green Bay. Early in the season, you have nice weather. It's an iconic stadium. I took a picture last night in our seats. It's my new screensaver on my phone. Like it's the home screen. Like it was beautiful last night. So it's an amazing experience for people who have never made the trip. You can find tickets fairly affordable because it's a Thursday night. It's one of the meccas of sports that you want to go to, and you're more excited about your team than you've ever been. It doesn't matter who's selling the tickets. Fans are going to pay through the roof from Detroit to come and make that trip to cheer on their team. That's what I thought last night was more about than the gold package or anything else.
Yeah, I thought it was like I was talking to a couple of guys that work for SeatGeek that were at our Green Bay game day pregame at the Tundra Trio, and they're big Packers fans, and they pay through the nose to go. They're going to Vegas. They like to go to Packers road games, and they said that's where they make a lot of the money is based on Packers fans who love to travel. They're already paying for airfare and hotel and everything else, so they're paying for tickets because they want to be there.
Yep.
And I'm guessing Lions fans, for the first time in a long time, are seeing a team that they think is worth spending money to travel to go see them play at an iconic stadium. I think that is part of it. And there were tickets available.
I think we have to get over that part of it. This is the new world of sports and how it goes. So if you want to do it the other way, keep it limited and don't not allow. I don't know how you'd even do that. It's not going to happen. So try and get the scheduling where you're putting your fans in the best position to come and root on for your team.
Yeah, change the second and fifth game rule for gold package games. That's the best thing that they can do.
I also, because it was September and most people, maybe you were wearing a sweatshirt last night, but people were in T-shirts because it was still nice out. Like, this might be simple to say, but the Honolulu blue sticks out. And when you're not wearing a winter jacket or anything covering it up, like, it stands out more in the crowd. So it might have just aesthetically looked like there were more road fans there than there might normally be.
I thought we were doing really well. I'm not sure I'm on board with that theory.
Now you're going into Honolulu blue T-shirt apology mode?
Yeah, think about it. Like, if you're there in December and you got a Vikings fan, they're wearing purple, but they wear a winter black coat over it. Like, you can't really tell if that's a Vikings fan there. Last night, you're wearing the blue T-shirt, everybody knows.
I feel like, and again, I'm not a fan, so you could tell me that I don't have any business chiming in here. But I feel like if you go on a road game as a fan, you are wearing your team colors. And if that
Not
means
if you
wearing...
go to Philly. Not if you go to Philly, you'll get assaulted.
Very fair. But if you're coming to Lambeau as a Vikings fan, you're wearing your purple and yellow, like, starter jacket from the 80s, if you have to. But you are repping your colors. You're not wearing, well, he's wearing a black jacket. He could be a Packers fan or a Vikings fan. I know this. We'll get to our positives and negatives. I don't know how many positives there'll be, but there is one. Jesse did really well on Prize Picks last night because of us.
Yeah, we crushed it for Jesse, as we usually do. And we, unfortunately, Musgrave, I think I went less. I think Jason went more. The concussion, obviously, threw that off. But a big night. A lot of big nights for the Lions. But Jesse had a big night on Prize Picks. You should, too. Daily Fantasy Sports. Made easy. Just go off of Prize Picks' player projections. If you had any Packer rushing yards, take less. You'd have been in great shape last night. Pick 2 to 6 players. You win up to 25x on your money. You're not competing against others. Just Prize Picks' projections. Entries are made in 60 seconds or less. And you have safe and fast withdrawals. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up. And you can use that promo code WI. You put in 100, Prize Picks gives you 100. Again, go to prizepicks.com to get started.
Am I the only one thinking of Jim in Saukville, thinking that he's going to be the only one now that's going to be in a good mood? Because he will have watched the debacle that unfolded last night first, in which they lose, and then he'll watch, spoiler alert, the game in which they rally to win?
Are we sure that Jim watched last night's game live, or is he going to watch both back to back?
I don't know what his plan was. I just know that Jesse's headed over there about 4 o'clock today.
I thought of him on the drive home last night. We'll get to that at some point today, but he may not be as loony as we thought.
Our positives and negatives, and then yours, 844-770-3776. If you're on hold, stay there. We'll get to you soon. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Broommate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hey Madison, it's Dan Andrews from Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. By now you know that you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. But what is a better buying experience? It's a car buying experience that is custom to what you want and need. We can be your trusted expert, or we can be hands-off until you're ready to purchase. If you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Chevy truck or SUV, make the short drive to Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb and see the difference a better buying experience can make.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, because Truck Star Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts, because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truck Star Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truck Star is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truck Star Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Well, test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as simple as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI. That's code WI at prizepicks.com/WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at titostailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit titostailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold.
Just continue to go out there and compete. Thought we did that. We had an opportunity. We were down 10, and we had a bad penalty to make it a 3-possession game. But, every area, there's a lot of improvement out there for us. I think any time that you go out there and you can't effectively run the football and conversely can't stop the run, that's a recipe for losing football. And that's what happened tonight. And give Detroit credit. We knew they were a tough opponent. But they manhandled us really in every phase.
Indeed they did.
Hey, Jason, what did you think of the handshake after the game? A little curt.
Didn't see it. Didn't know. Tell me about it.
Quick. Well, it just was quick. I think LaFleur obviously is really frustrated. Anytime you win, you want to be gracious. Hey, stay healthy, all this stuff. And LaFleur just wanted to get the hell off the field. So I don't think it was anything. It definitely wasn't the Kyle Shanahan blow-by.
The blow-by.
But I'm sure since you have the weekend off now that you'll be able – it's something that I thought was interesting. That's all.
Matt LaFleur will talk to us at 3 o'clock today. I'm not sure we'll get to the handshake. Among the things that you heard there, though, bad penalty, talking about Quay Walker leaping over the line of scrimmage, which you're not allowed to do. Matt LaFleur circled back later and said that they have to do a better job of teaching these guys the rules so they know that they can't do that from more than a yard out. I'm not here to be a Quay.
Jason, I don't think – I think you can jump over people. You can't touch them.
No,
and his cleat not grazed.
No,
his
so
back.
What I was told was that he started out more than a yard back. And so if you get something of a running start, that's the penalty. That's what he got. And it wasn't by much. Like, he's an athlete now. I thought that was pretty athletically impressive, but it is against the rules. Now, again, of all the stuff that happened last night, yes, the penalty gives them another couple minutes, and then 4th and goal from the 1, they give the ball to Montgomery. Like, that is Dan Campbell. Like, you can kick the field goal there, and it's a 2-possession game, and he's like, oh, screw that. We're running it in. And they did. And David Montgomery ran right through T.J. Slayton at the goal line. So,
yeah.
But there were a lot of other issues.
Yeah, in fairness, Jason, it was a 10-point game at that time. That put it to 17. So the math and the analytics make sense to go for it and punch that in, not to kick the field goal.
So they kicked the field goal earlier on fourth down that he got the penalty on, right?
Well, that was to go. Yeah, but then that was 4th and 6. This wasn't 4th and 1 from the 1. You wanted to go get 7 there. Dan Campbell, he obviously coached a good game, and yeah, Quay Walker, 20 tackles. He's my positive for today for the game, even with that penalty. I don't have a problem with that. He's trying to make a play.
Right.
He skirted the rules, and I think if he doesn't clip the center's jersey, I don't know if they call that. I don't. Maybe he was a yard further than he was supposed to be with the broad jump. He was trying to make a play. It was desperation time. Quay Walker's been really good. I'm not mad about anything that he did last night.
Yeah, and my positive, frankly, is Jordan Love, because this was a game where things did not go well. At one point, I did think that it looked to me like after getting the crap kicked out of him for the first 3 or 4 series, that there might have been a play or two where he was a little worried about a rush that actually wasn't there initially. But then I thought he rebounded really nicely. I thought his personality of not getting frazzled is valuable.
Pretty awesome.
Big time. So, the fact that, look, he runs it in on that 9-yard quarterback draw to make it 27-17, and then he is inches away from getting in when he gets kind of decapitated and pulled down inches short of the goal line. But if he gets in there, now you're a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from tying the game after starting 27-3, and not just starting 27-3, but looking like absolute garbage in the process.
Yeah, that play was.
He showed me something.
That play was huge. Just like getting that 2-point play against the Saints and that message that sent, it was a little deflating going, you had to do it. You're down 10.
No doubt. Yep.
To get it to 8. I think that changes the whole complexion of that fourth quarter. They made a good stop. Love running this option. I'm not as big a fan of the option. And I think if I'm critiquing Jordan Love, he needs to get a little thicker in the trunk. Now, I think his legs, and we saw the little fawn legs on the quarterback sneak, and then the dump pass back.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's one thing if I'm looking at it. It's not going to be Jalen Hurts, but I think he could have gotten in on that too. I think that's a case where he's, I think that's one of the things looking physically you'd want to get ramped up a little bit when he continues to play. But I agree with you. I am not at all discouraged. The Jordan Love, it's been as good as I had hoped it would be. It's not been perfect. He's obviously too inaccurate, and he made some mistakes.
He did.
And last night was wide open with that. But how he's approaching it and how he's going, I am very happy with his progression so far through 4 weeks. Very happy with that.
So we talked a lot about negatives. What's the worst one in your mind?
Yeah, it's the O-line. And it pains me to say that. I don't want to be, I'm not going to ever throw people under the bus and be that guy. But just watching that group and the confidence is starting to just shed. They need to do something different. I don't know what that's going to be.
Right, that was going to be my
question.
Getting
Elton Jenkins back would be ideal, obviously. And I think I wonder.
And play him at center.
I have not talked to Balaga. Well, I will when we do next week. I think they got to seriously think about putting Elton Jenkins at center. I don't think you want to put Zach Tom. Zach Tom, again, kudos to him for gutting it out on a bad knee.
Yeah,
it wasn't his best game, but again, yeah, he didn't have his best game. But sometimes you just got to gut it out. They needed him last night. He was out there. I think it's time to get Yash into the mix. If you do move Zach Tom, I will be shocked if there's not some changes on the interior. And if it's the center position, so be it. I think you're going to have to see, because you can't go up in a presser and say doing the same thing over and over is the definition of insanity, and then keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. You're 4 weeks in. This is as putrid of a run game as we've seen here for, 25 years? It's been bad. That's my negative.
So those I appreciate you clarifying. Because I couldn't tell. You seemed to be on the fence about how you felt about the offensive line play. There's no
tough.
And on the flip side of it, and we will get to this, but I want to get to your calls because I know everyone's been patient waiting their turn. We need to get to the Joe Barry question. I'm not sure it's entirely his fault, but Matt LaFleur sure made it sound like it's entirely his fault. We need to do something different. The insanity quotes. You have him do something different. You basically told him, hey, I know this is the defense you run, but we're going to run this defense instead, and you're still in charge. So we run something that isn't your idea of how to play defense, and then we're going to be mad at you when it doesn't work. So we need to get to that. But I want to get to your calls first.
I wonder if he could go back to that fateful January, Monday afternoon, and just say, I'm going to take some time to evaluate and not say, let's run it back.
All right, we'll get to your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr was on Rutledge and Hamilton on ESPN Madison earlier this week and speculated on Wisconsin's offensive identity with 4 games in the books.
I think the identity is we're a team that we really want to run the ball. We want to open up by getting some of our receivers involved early, which I think can help tremendously. It'll definitely loosen up that box, make guys respect the pass game.
Find the full conversation with Chris Orr on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Rutledge and Hamilton.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Show your Brewers pride everywhere you go with Brewers Checking, only from Associated Bank. Score exclusive perks like a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, even express check-in at the Associated Bank gate. And if you want a VIP game day, the Associated Bank Power Alley is for everyone. Contact the Brewers ticket office to learn how you could treat your crew to a full buffet and private bar overlooking left center field. Brewers Checking. Learn more at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers today. Member FDIC.
Fleet Fest is kicking off this Friday for 3 days only at Fleet Farm. Find in-store only deals on top brands and fall favorites, like 10% off select hunting gear, power tools, and wild bird feed. And get 20% off select workwear and fishing gear. Plus, mark your calendars for free pumpkin painting this Saturday only from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Don't miss deals and fun for everyone in the family this weekend at Fleet Fest. We have what you need for your everyday life. Fleet Farm.
Back to school time means times for savings at Metro Ford of Madison. Get in a new Ford F-150 at 3.9 APR financing for 66 months. $16.19 cost per $1,000. $1,000 in retail trade assist on the XLT and $500 in low APR cash on the XLT are available to qualified buyers. Offers end October 3rd. Browse our inventory of 153 new vehicles at MetroFord.com. Metro Ford, Madison's trusted Ford dealer.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Let's get to the phone. Thanks to everyone who waited patiently on hold while we worked through our views of last night's 34-20 defeat at Lambeau Field. I thought it was going to be a close game that came down to the end. As I left Green Bay game day pregame, I said, Strofe, I think the team that has the ball last wins the game. Which was technically correct. Because they did have the ball at the end of the game.
It out?
Yeah, they knelt it out. Well, yeah. So
hey, you had a 50-50 shot at being right on that. So well done.
Let's get to the phones. 844-770-3776. Positives, negatives. Are you discouraged? Are you mad at Joe Barry? Who are you mad at? All of that and more. We're here for you. Let's start with Brittany in Merrimack. We don't get a lot of calls from Merrimack.
That's a big,
That's big
ferry. There's a ferry through there, right? Merrimack Ferry, is that right?
Brittany, you tell us. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you?
Good. Thanks for waiting. Tell Tausch about the ferry before you tell us your feelings about the game.
Well, actually, Tausch, I live a block up from the ferry. It's kind of annoying in the summer because you hear all the motorcycles and it's a big touristy thing. But it's really nice in the winter when it's closed.
Okay.
Wow.
It's really nice when nobody uses it.
When it's closed. Thanks for the laugh.
Ice cream shops. They got really good ice cream shops on both sides of the ferry, so that's pretty cool.
All right. I smell a live show done from the ferry at some
Lambeau
point.
Field's really nice when the Packers aren't playing there.
Yeah. Well, after yesterday, could you blame it?
Yeah, Brittany, what did you think? What were your positives, negatives, feelings afterward? What are you frustrated with? Give us your thoughts.
I would say positives was I was really impressed with Quay Walker. Like Tausch said, I think he had 19 tackles, so he's starting to come on. And the penalty that comes back on teaching, well, that ultimately comes back on coaching, which I'll get to that in a minute. I was really impressed with Jordan Love and his poise, and in the second half when he had those two comeback drives right away where they scored and like the hurry up, no huddle rush, whatever. And then the other one I would say surprisingly was Anders Carlson. You know, he got a lot of slack in training camp and everything, but he seems to be doing okay in the pros so far. Now, my negatives. I've been saying this since last year, and I'm going to say it again. Matt LaFleur is not who I want coaching my team. He is too soft. this is 3 weeks in a row he's cried or seemingly looked like he's going to cry every time he talks to reporters. And I'm sorry, I don't want somebody who cries. And
so you don't want me.
Defense,
you don't want me coaching the team either, then, right? That we can agree on that.
I don't.
You know what?
I don't.
You know what, Wildy? I coached my niece's softball team this year, so I can sympathize with that. But no, Wildy, I do not want you. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Go to the
You
ferry and
shouldn't.
get some ice cream and sit on the sideline.
Yes, that's take a Merrimack ferry ride with you. I think that's where Jason needs to be.
Yes. And Joe Barry, I mean, oh, my God. Again, this comes back on Matt LaFleur. Like Tausch said back in January, when the season ended, he didn't bat an eye about keeping him. And I'm sorry, that's just another way of Matt LaFleur being too soft. Rich Bisaccia is the highest-paid special teams coordinator in the league, and his team is getting false starts on punts, false starts on field goal units, then the Quay Walker penalty. Like, I just think that a lot of the issues need to kind of be focused down to the O-line group, like you said, Matt LaFleur's inability to game plan, because it seems like every week he's saying, oh, I got to be better, my game plan wasn't good enough. Where was Aaron Jones? You know, I just think that the microscope on Matt LaFleur and the coaching staff needs to be a lot bigger than it was on Jordan Love.
I agree with just about everything you said, including me not coaching the team. I would add this to what Brittany said, and thanks for the call, Brittany. That was awesome. But I would add this to what she said. I don't think when things go poorly and you constantly start with yourself, I admire that, but it also helps to press the narrative. This is why most coaches don't do what LaFleur did. It doesn't help your Q rating among the fan base when you constantly say, I need to do a better job of this and that. And then the results show that you're not doing a good enough job. Like the game planning, I think that's a valid criticism. You get the good news is Aaron Jones should be feeling pretty good, because otherwise, other than that option play where he got sent over tea kettle.
Both guys got drilled. That means the play wasn't designed very well or blocked very well.
Right, but hey, he didn't play that much. He played 18 snaps. He didn't get the ball very often. His hamstring should be relatively fresh for Monday night in Las Vegas. All right, we'll get to more of your calls to kick off the 10 o'clock hour, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. The Packers lose at home to the Detroit Lions. Tausch, does LaFleur look even softer when it's Dan Campbell across the sideline, on the other sideline?
Well, everybody's going to look softer,
right,
when it's Campbell, but it's not about what he looks like. I don't mind the emotion. I don't think you should have it every week. I don't think every week should be, you're getting all choked up. But I don't mind that. It's about how your team plays.
Correct.
And what you're emphasizing. Dan Campbell emphasizes biting kneecaps.
Physicality.
What is Matt LaFleur? What is Matt LaFleur's biggest emphasis? What does he emphasize? You're there every day. What is his big emphasis? You should have an answer now, because it's 4 years. What does he hang his hat on? Jason Wilde, what is it?
I think that's the problem. Nothing comes to mind.
That's a question you should ask. That's a question you should ask, and you could verbatim it. Dan Campbell's a kneecap-biting son of a gun. What would you say, Matt LaFleur, you want your football team to be? Be fascinated to hear his point of view on it.
You made a good point, and even if I usually have hedgy answers, the fact that I had no answer to that question
you don't have anything.
Says a lot. It does.
I know you're tired, though, because you've been grinding.
No. But you would. Let me turn it around on you briefly. I don't think you have an answer either, and that's my point. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I know what he wants it to be. I don't know if that's what he's getting.
Right. Congratulations to Jesse on winning our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week with my guy, Rudy Ford.
Devontae Wyatt had a sack last night. Just saying.
Playing defensive line for a team that gave up 211 yards rushing. Nice try.
Rudy Ford is the safety support on that, too. Let's go.
You're so biased for that defensive line. My God.
No, I think Rudy Ford. I'm not saying you're
5 minutes.
I'm not saying that Jesse's not right. That Rudy Ford won, but let's not act like it's some TKO. Rudy Ford's a part of that run fit unit too. Okay, he needs to come make some plays too.
You couldn't just let me get into the Steinhoffels read, right? You just had to get in there. The Devontae Wyatt had a sack.
You poked old T. You know you poke old T. Old T ain't gonna just lay there unless you're tickling me. If you tickle, I'll just lay there.
Okay, now I am completely uncomfortable, and I would like to just say that it's Steinhoffel's 89th anniversary sale going on now. Since 1934, Steinhoffel's has been the trusted furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. And maybe next time we do a show from a Steinhoffel's location, Tausch will lay on one of those mattresses, and you can come and tickle him.
Old T, am I right?
Whether it's your first
I love
apartment,
that big gray chair
can
that
we
they
please
had.
stop?
The gray chair there was awesome. You're poking me.
Tickle Fest will be their next sale, but right now it's their 89th anniversary sale. Whether it's your first apartment, first home, or the home of your dreams, Steinhoffel's has something for every style and every budget. You can shop today through Sunday and get a free record player when you have a purchase of over $2,999. Steinhoffel's has something for everyone. Shop in-store and online at steinhoffels.com. More of your positives, negatives, your calls, 844-770-3776. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers fall to the Detroit Lions in what head coach Matt LaFleur described, among many other words, as a manhandling last night at Lambeau Field. 34-20, the Lions come to Titletown and earn their fourth consecutive victory in the regular season over the Green Bay Packers. Lions led 27-3 at halftime. After the game, head coach Matt LaFleur not particularly pleased with how last night's game went.
I don't think anybody's feeling sorry for us. So we got to get better. We got to look at what we're asking our guys to do. Everything wasn't good enough. So the plan wasn't good enough. I mean, that was humiliating, being down 27-3 or whatever it was at half.
Reactions continuing all day here on 100.5 ESPN, including with more Wilde and Tausch coming up next. Greeny with the unsportsmanlike morning crew filling in for Mike Greenberg this afternoon from noon to 2. Kyle Bruston-Nortman 2 to 4. Rutledge and Hamilton from 4 to 6.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. In the aftermath of the Packers' 34-20 defeat at the hands of the Detroit Lions. Down 27-3 at the half. Been booed off the field each of the last 2 weeks.
Not good.
At halftime. 844-770-3776. I know a lot of you have been calling and waiting, so let's get to it right away. Let's go down to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Brandon is now eligible to at least play trivia, if not win the prize pack. Brandon, good morning. Thanks for waiting. What do you got?
Hey, guys. Good morning. Yeah, your first call was pretty great. I'll be quick with my positives and negatives. First negative has nothing to do with the game last night. My negatives, I'm sick of mowing. I don't know what the weather's like up in Wisconsin, but it's still so hot down here. I've been mowing for 6 months, and I'm miserable. I'm so tired of it. I know fall started, I guess, a week ago, but I'm just so tired of gassing up the mower, spending 2 hours outside, listening to the cicadas go off while everyone else around the country is drinking their apple cider and their pumpkin pie. I'm just tired of it.
No, we've got and the worst part for me in Green Bay is we've gotten more rain, and so it's gotten really long. And the timing of the rain has prevented me from mowing. That and the fact that we've had our Halloween decorations up in the yard since mid-September.
And you got 2 pools now, too.
No, there are no pools up. No.
Big pool, little pool.
Got
All
the
right,
big
Brandon,
pool,
what do you
the
got?
dog pool and the unicorn pool, right?
So as far as the game goes, I'm not upset at all. I mean, this offense looks exactly like what I thought it would. A young QB with a bunch of rookies and second-year guys struggling as they figure it out. I'm happy that no one got hurt. Like, hey, that's the positive. You know, this is what growing pains is. I can't imagine anybody who's looking at Jordan Love, other than the talking heads on TV that said they were going to be, 10, 11 win division winners. It's like, this is what struggling looks like. They're doing exactly what I thought they would. So no concerns there. You're missing Bakhtiari and Jenkins. Of course the O-line is going to suffer. Maybe the depth isn't as good as we thought. But still, it's like, what do you think is going to happen when you have those kind of 2 players off the line? So no worries there on the offense. And the defense, I had 0 expectations for. I called early in the summer. Everyone kept trumping in all the first-round picks they have. Well, maybe they need 11 on the team. I got no faith in the coordinator. I think Goody's hit on a lot of his picks, so I'm not worried about the picks. I just think until Matt LaFleur decides to get rid of Joe Barry, this is what it's going to be. So I did not go into the season thinking, okay, here we go, top 5 defense. So I'm having a great day. I wasn't upset about the game at all last night. I think they played the way I thought they'd play this season.
You got to mow that lawn again, though. That's the only thing that sucks.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'll probably be mowing 3 days from now, and but other than the game, running a little blue in the stadium, I thought it was a decent showing for the Lions. I think they're legit. They're for real. I think they're still somehow underestimated by a lot of the league, and Dan Campbell's going to milk that cow as long as he can, which he should.
No doubt.
Going back to Brittany's comment real quick. Yes, I completely agree with her assessment that we don't want a soft guy leading your team. Like, I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and a book I read on Winston Churchill talked about the opposition he faced in his home party on the outside of World War II because he was so bent on going to war with the Nazis and with Hitler. He didn't consider peace talks. He was so hard-nosed about it. And a lot of people said, well, don't you even want to consider peace talks? Let's look at it from every angle. And he said, no, I want their heads. And the king loved him, and the people of England loved him, and that's really what gave him the support to go through that war. Matt LaFleur is not like that. He's not that Spartan warrior that wants people's heads and is going to do whatever it takes to win. And I think people see that. And again, no offense to you, Jason, but you'd make a great coordinator. But I don't want a soft, bubbly, right in the fence kind of guy leading my team. Dan Campbell's not like that. He holds himself to a standard, and he will do whatever it takes to get there. And I think that's kind of coming home to roost for Matt LaFleur.
Did you say I'd make a great coordinator? Is that what you said? Or Matt LaFleur would?
Yeah, because you're talented and smart. I just don't want you leading the team.
Yes, I agree. I don't want to lead the team.
Opinion.
I'm an assistant. Yes, I'm definitely an assistant. Thanks for the call, Brandon. And I take that as a compliment. You're too soft to be running the show. That totally agree. Tausch, Brandon said something there, though, that I did want to circle back with you on, because you did
Winston
say
Churchill?
No, although I know you're a history aficionado, and I know that perked
Churchill,
your ears.
It did. It did.
And in fairness, I don't know if any coach is necessarily going to be held up and favorably compared with Winston Churchill. given the history. But he said it was a growing pains game for the offense and that this is what he expected. You told us we couldn't play, or Jesse wasn't going to anyway because he was too tired. But you said you didn't think this was a play the Alan Thicke, Joanna Kearns song. Why? Because I tend to feel more the same way as Brandon did about the offense and about the inaccuracy of more than a handful of Jordan's throws and him being a little bit rattled by the pressure he was under in the first half, rightfully so. So I did think it was a growing pains game for their offense. Why do you feel it wasn't?
Well, if you also listen to what Brandon said there, the expectations of the defense were what they were. I expect more. And when you don't do that, that's not we're going to grow into it. This defense isn't part of the growing pains.
I agree. I agree. That's what I'm saying, though. So do you see that?
So that's why I'm not playing the growing pains song.
Right, but
growing pains would be offense makes a bunch of mistakes. It's sloppy. You turn the football over. You do that, and the defense plays a good stout game. You lose 20-14. This case, this wasn't a growing pains game. This was we got dominated game.
Yeah, I don't.
Physicality isn't part of the growing pains, Jason, in my opinion. That's how I would look at it.
Okay, I guess when I think of growing pains, I don't even consider the defense. They are a veteran group. They have mostly the same players that they have had, except for swapping out the guys up front. So I don't even think of them as eligible to have growing pains.
Well, the way you win games, and if you lose a game because you play like you did last night, that's not because of youth and inexperience and you have to grow. That wasn't what last night was. The Saints game would have been. If defense chopped it up, did what they were supposed to do, special teams had a mistake or two, you have some young players making mistakes. That wasn't the case last night. Last night it was we got manhandled, as Coach LaFleur said, on both sides of the ball. That ain't growing pains. That's getting beat.
844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We've got a ton of you still on hold, so thanks for waiting. We'll get to you guys next. Want to remind you, even when the Packers lose, you're still a Packers fan. You care about it. If you want to show your Packers pride through where you bank, you can do it through Associated Bank, the official bank of the Packers, and you get great perks along with it. So you can go get yourself that new Jordan Love jersey and get a 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop online or in store. You can flash your Packers debit MasterCard, and you can qualify to maybe attend some of the fun activities that we do in association with the Packers and Associated Bank. So go to associatedbank.com/Packers to find out more. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
There's nothing like a great night's sleep. If your mattress isn't quite right, chances are you're not sleeping as well as you should be. Steinhoffel's exclusive Discover Your Sleep system maps your body and sleeping position, and then finds the perfect mattress for you through science. So, stop in and find your perfect mattress with the Discover Your Sleep system, only at Steinhoffel's. Relax. It's Steinhoffel's.
Come to Pasquale's Cantina today. Whoa, Ben, why are you dressed in a pastel purple suit with no shirt under your jacket?
I'm feeling the Miami Vice vibe, especially since we have the Arizona Ranch Pizzadilla.
Ah, yes. Our crisp flour tortilla with grilled fajita chicken, Jones cherry wood smoked bacon, barbecue sauce, cheddar jack cheese, spiced ranch, and scallions. All served like a pizza. Get those shades off.
Bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for $120. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Mark Toscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment, and here's another great fundraising event in Madison.
Don't miss Drew Fest and the chance to have fun while supporting mental health awareness. The Randall family will host a fundraiser on October 8th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Buck and Honey's in Monona in honor of Andrew Randall. The Randalls are committed to erasing the stigma surrounding mental illness. Enjoy appetizers, drinks, football, live and silent auctions, and a lot of fun. Head over to the Drew Fest Facebook page to buy tickets or donate to the cause.
I will see you there.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I don't think anybody's feeling sorry for us. So we got to get better. We got to look at what we're asking our guys to do. You know, everything wasn't good enough. So the plan wasn't good enough. I mean, that was humiliating, being down 27-3 or whatever it was at half.
Humiliating.
It's probably strong.
What happened to we have to be process-driven and we can't all be about the outcome?
God, you remember when I said, we're going to lose some games and people are going to just stay nice and calm? And remember, and you said, no, yeah, I'm sure everybody will.
Yeah, there they are.
You lost to the team that everybody thinks is supposed to win the division. They're mature. They're older. They're more experienced. They came in and whooped us. It's part of the deal. It's growing pains. It's what we wanted. We wanted this growth. We wanted change. And you know what? You're going to have nights like that.
Yeah, it was not positive.
Like the way I do not like the way this run game has looked. That's the biggest. Outside of that, I am not that disappointed or upset. That's the part that is most bothersome to me.
Because so much of what they do effectively in the pass game is predicated on being effective in play action.
You're limiting the growth and development of Jordan Love by not having that.
Yeah, I would say that it's 1A and 1B. They can't run the ball. They can't stop the run. That's a bad combination.
Those are two things. Yeah, it's not great.
844-770-3776. Got a lot of calls to get to. Let's go. Let's go to Troy in Stevens Point. Troy, good morning. Thanks for holding. What do you got?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to talk about the attendance conversation you guys were having earlier.
Yep.
So I guess I'm in the minority here. I'm here to defend the gold package ticket holders.
No, you're on my team.
All right. Yeah. Well, I am one of those. I grew up in Green Bay. I've been going to games since I was a little kid. I was on the waiting list for about 26 years, and my name got called to get season tickets, and I was offered the gold package, or I could have stayed on the waiting list to get the green package, and I ended up taking the gold package because I didn't live in Green Bay anymore.
Right.
And I think the biggest issue isn't, everyone likes to say, it's always Milwaukee package, ticket holders that are selling these tickets, and we should just get rid of the gold package. And the issue isn't that. The issue is more of, we have opposing teams fans, like the Lions fans, who are very excited about their team this year, that are more willing to buy resale tickets than Packers fans who are, just not willing to pay for resale tickets like opposing teams. And to compound that issue is Lambeau Field is a destination sports place for the NFL. Like, we have a lot of people, I walked around the stadium last night, and, every other player or every other fan is saying, oh, yeah, this is my first time here. I always want to come to Lambeau. Like, you're just always going to get that. So it's like, you take that, and, you guys kind of hit it on earlier, is that everything's been digitalized over the last 5 years, so it's so much easier to sell tickets. And then my last point is, it's not just the gold package tickets. It's, I went to the Vikings and the Lions game at the end of the year last year, and it was the exact same thing. 35% of the attendance was the opposing team's fans, and it's like those were like playoff games for the Packers at that point.
Right.
They had to win to get into the playoffs, and you go there, and it's the exact same thing. It's just, it is what it is, but it's kind of a tired argument to say, well, we need to get rid of the gold package tickets because it's
Troy,
ridiculous. And
Troy, let me ask you this. Sorry to interrupt. Have you sold, at any point since you've gotten the tickets, have you sold a game's worth of tickets or no?
Not outside of my family.
Okay,
the only games I have not gone to is if I couldn't personally make it.
Right. Okay, and I think that's fairly commonplace. And yesterday, you obviously, you said you were at the game, so you had to drive back to Stevens Point. I get all that. My thing is that if I am a fan and I own 3 tickets, which is what my family has, my brother has them passed down from my parents and my grandparents because I didn't need them. If I have a chance to sell a ticket at face value, or I have a chance to make $200 over face value, do I have a responsibility to take less money that I can spend how I want to and sell it to a Packers fan for face value? I don't have any tickets, so I'm not in that position, but I'm asking
only if the quarterback takes less money to go against the salary cap, then the fans have to. That's the new rule.
Right? Like, that's and thanks for the call, Troy. We appreciate your insight on that.
Troy needs to do what's best for his fans.
Right.
I'm not going to get in here and besmirch fans.
No,
if
we
you want to do this, you just say, here, your hard ticket, you can't sell it, but we're going to go and we're going to have the 30th highest ticket prices in the NFL. It's capitalism, baby. This is how it works.
Yep.
You can be mad at fans. You can get angry. The idea of dumping the gold package, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Shouldn't happen.
No. Also,
kind of fascinated if Troy took Highway 10, went back through Appleton,
we've got too
and
many
shot
calls.
over,
We don't have
or
time
if he
for
went
you.
No, I'm not asking him.
No,
or if he got 29 and then shot back up.
Yeah, I don't need to hear
I didn't know.
think through his path either. Let's go to Greg in Waukesha. Greg, good morning. Thanks for holding. What are you thinking?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Tough night last night. A lot of Lions fans there, so I have a different spin on my positive. First one was I was bantering with some Lions fans, and the positive one, the look on their face when I told them, you do realize this is not the Super Bowl, right, guys? I mean, they were so obnoxious. And then the other highlight is I wore my Clay Matthews USC jersey. Saw myself on TV with the jersey. Yeah. We had front row seats in the end zone. On a positive, kind of like what you said, I'm still a believer in Jordan Love. This is a process. Everything you were saying before, the Lions are better, or more mature. It's going to take some time. Mm-hmm. The negative was me and my friends talking and realizing the Packers have not had a strong run defense since the Super Bowl that Favre won. I mean, 200-some yards from Detroit every year. We want to try to stop the run. There's potential on there, but Joe Barry's just not working for me.
Well, now that part we can have that conversation. I do think the 2010 team had a pretty good run defense.
Jason, is Matt LaFleur having that conversation today?
So you know that I don't like to be knee jerky, and thanks for the call, Greg. We appreciate it. But when he talked the way he talked, one of my colleagues after we got done, I said, "Wow."
Pete Doherty?
He was still irritated that a very simple, reasonable question was pegged as a BS question.
It almost seemed like fake, almost fake outrage.
It was not a great
awkward.
look for the head
coach. It didn't make any sense.
It's like he was an actor and he missed his line and then he tried to circle back to it.
It's like me trying to hit those high notes in the song. It just didn't work.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
I don't know if it was bad. It was weird.
It was. You should have been in the room because then we're all like, that wasn't that probing of a question.
What
went wrong in what went wrong in the first half? I mean, maybe you could have said everything, but the Joe Barry component of this I am intrigued by because there's two parts to it. One is you chose to bring him back to pull the plug 4 games in.
He is who he is, too. You know who he is.
Right.
You know what he's about.
Right. The other part of it is who's taking over. Let's just for a moment entertain the possibility. That's what I'm getting at is, do you fire a coordinator during the season and then hire someone from the outside? Because who do they have on the staff that you would say, well, he'd be the guy? Like, when we entertained this possibility previously, it was Jerry Gray.
Bring OG in. Yeah, bring him back. OG, we were wrong. We need you back.
We should have kept you, not him. Look, I thought he was frustrated. I thought he was emotional. I did think he missed his opportunity to deliver that line and circled back. BS. But more importantly, I don't think he actually is planning on firing Joe Barry today. I don't. So but if what would appear to be a largely putrid Las Vegas Raiders offense with Josh Jacobs, somehow
if Devontae Adams goes for 215, then it's time. If it's not time,
we'll wait and see. Let's get to one more call before the break and then more after the break. 844-770-3776. Let's go out to Hale's Corners and talk to Mark. Mark, good morning. Thanks for holding on. What do you got for us?
Hey, morning, guys. Well, you kind of stole my thunder there, Mr. Wilde, but no, that's totally fine. I'm going back to this decision to not look at 3 names as defensive coordinator in the offseason. Brian Flores, Vic Fangio, Steve Wilkes. And you're totally right. Like, when you look at this staff, I was just doing, as I was on hold, I'm looking online here at, some of these guys' history. Who would be the name that you would turn it over to? Jerry Montgomery? He's been, I think, the co-defensive coordinator for not even a full season at the University of Oklahoma. Tim Lester's a senior assist analyst on the staff who's been a head coach for Western Michigan University. Kirk Olivadotti, I mean, who are you turning this over to? The sad thing is, I feel like he can't fire Joe Barry. And that is beyond frustrating when you had viable names in the offseason that were available, experience that you could have hired. But, and again, I also want to talk about, LaFleur had this odd coaching decision to me. I guess it really didn't, matter that much, but the 3rd and goal play when he accepted the penalty to back the Lions up. Do you guys remember that?
Yes,
that sequence?
I said in that moment we need to ask LaFleur
what
about.
What the hell is he doing? What is he doing? I've never seen that. So to me, this whole thing with LaFleur, he just continues to make odd decisions with his coaching staff. I look at the coaching staff as a whole, both sides of the ball, and I just wonder if there's too much youth and inexperience on this coaching staff. Just in general, I don't think he has a good staff really on either side of the ball. And this offensive line problem, yeah, Myers, this is a Goody draft pick. We know that Goody likes to hold on to his draft picks and give him all the chances to possibly either succeed or fail. But Myers, my God, Aaron Rodgers covered up for so much of Josh Myers' inefficiencies of not being able to get line calls correct. It's been talked about. It's known. Like, he should not be playing center anymore. And then, we got to do musical chairs again with moving people around. So I don't like the direction of where things are going. I don't think this team is constructed correctly. You should have some veteran presences in some of these rooms, like especially the tight end room, like the offensive line problems. You would like to have some, tight ends that can maybe help out in that area, but their heads are swimming because they're rookies except for DeGuara, and it's how much can they really help out with the run game? I think there's so many problems with this team right now. It's just, I can't handle it right now. It's just too much.
Best thing you said, Mark, though, was when you ran through the three guys that you would like to have him at least to explored for defensive coordinator. If you want to run the Vic Fangio defense, and Vic Fangio's available, he went to Miami, right? Like, if you want to run the defense that he runs, he's the guy who came up with it. You could hire the guy. That's like getting Bill Walsh to run the West Coast offense. Get the guy who did it. He was available. Pay him through the nose to do it. But they ran it back. Tausch, I apologize. I made fun of you for saying, run it back, run it back, run it back. But that's what they did with Joe Barry. And the fact that there was not even a discussion of we're going to evaluate and think about our options and see what we decide. Yes, it would have left him twisting in the wind, but maybe we're in a different spot right now.
At least go through the process.
Yep.
That was my thing then. It's just astounding to me. I was legitimately, I thought you were punking me when it came out the way it did.
Uh-huh.
Not even 24 hours after the game.
Uh-huh.
I don't get it, but hey, here we are. Now what are you going to do?
Right.
And for the first time, you hear LaFleur always saying it's on me, blah, 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 blah. And I like the fact you take account, but what are you going to do about it? It's one thing. It's like politicians always say. It's on me whenever they do say that. Well, then do you resign? Do you do something? Or do you just say it? Because saying it without any action, you're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
That's what makes me wonder. Matt LaFleur, that was as animated and vocal as I've seen him. I don't think he's going to do it, but wow, that would be a narrative changer if he did. Again, I don't think that's going to be the case, but if you're really as fed up as it sounds like he is, something has to change. I don't know what it's going to be.
That's what he said.
That was a guy last night.
That is what he said.
His frustration was at Kelvin, and now it's like, are you going to do anything about it? I don't know. We'll see. Because you can only let the water boiling over and just continue to flood your stove. At some point, you're going to shut the damn thing off, and you're going to say, maybe let's sit back here and try and figure something out instead of letting this boiling water just continue to plow through. Let's shut it off, dump it, maybe we reset, or maybe we just go out to eat.
No, not your best, Calvin, but not bad. And a perfect lead-in to say that this is not the time to chill. He was hot, and he's going to stay hot.
Indeed, he was. And he should chill, I think, a day. He's got the weekend now. He can kind of refresh, relax, crack himself a Coors Light. Brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filter, and cold package because it's made to chill. Make sure those mountains are blue. Make sure they're really blue. Honolulu blue, like Lambeau was last night. That's why it's Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll get to more of your calls. So Jeff and Nick and David, stay there on hold. We'll get to you, and we've got some open lines as well if you want to get in on the conversation as the Packers lose at home to the Detroit Lions. Their fourth straight loss to the Detroit Lions. Boy, does that sound weird. 844-770-3776. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and even though it's not a Victory Friday on Wilde and Tausch, it's still another Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. You can take my word for it that you will be feeling good if you trust the pro painters at Holman Lindsay for your next paint project, just like my family did. The pros did the job so much better than we could and made the whole process incredibly easy on us. All you have to do to get connected, stop into any of Holman Lindsay's Madison area locations, ask, and they'll help you find the pro painters that are perfect for what you need. Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the pro painters at Holman Lindsay Paints. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people, and stick around for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
The standards have been set from quarterbacks that have been here before us, and you're trying to continue to raise your game until you get to that bar.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
You're going to evolve throughout the course of the season. It's always the fine line of what's too much.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
The first primetime game of Jordan Love's career as the Packers starting quarterback, not going as planned as the Packers fall 34-20 to the Lions. He throws 2 picks in the game as their defense of the Packers also falling short. They give up 211 yards rushing. Here's Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think any time that you go out there and you can't effectively run the football and conversely can't stop the run, that's a recipe for losing football. And that's what happened tonight. And give Detroit credit. We knew they were a tough opponent, but they manhandled us really in every phase.
Now a bit of an extended break for the Packers. Their next game is October 9th, a Monday night contest in Vegas.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
How easy is it to use the UW Credit Union mobile app? We've compared it to other everyday tasks with ratings from 1 to 10, 10 being hardest. Sending money to friends on the app, 1. Putting on your shoes, 4. Paying bills on the app, 1. Putting on your kids' shoes. Okay, stop kicking. Okay, that's a 9.
UW Credit Union, here for every you. Federally insured by NCUA.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie, Zimbrick Chevrolet.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Ruger Law Offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen, UW Madison class of 2002. Join me, Michelle Smallman, and Super Bowl champion Chris Canty every weekday morning from 5 to 9, right here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand on Wisconsin.
Nice to know
Let's get back to the phones right away. Thanks to everybody who's held on. We've cleared a number of the calls. We still have room for you heading into the 11 o'clock hour soon. 844-770-3776. But let's get to Jeff in Minneapolis, who's waited a long time. Jeff, thanks for waiting, buddy. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I don't feel like I am making these comments out of convenience. As you guys know, I've called on the show before.
Oh, I'm familiar with your work, Jeff.
I'm familiar with yours too, Jason, and Tausch's. Okay, so here's the thing. When I called in about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I said to you guys, my concern about LaFleur as a leader is that he's too loyal in terms of his relationships with, and I said, I think he's soft. And it's coming up again. You know, as a leader, do you want to be liked or do you want to be respected? Those are two different things. And he doesn't come across at the press conference. His response to Pete Doherty was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
it was his worst moment ever. It was the most innocuous question anybody could ask, right? I mean, and he's not coming across like somebody who's got a presence. He was coming across like a little brat that didn't get what he wanted.
Yeah, before you finish your thought, that was
a bad look.
I think we were just too stunned by that he got that pissed about such a, to use your word, innocuous question. It made no sense.
It was so out of place.
Didn't.
It was just weird.
Correct.
Yeah, it was awful. So here's the thing. When Tausch asked you and you guys asked each other, what does Matt LaFleur hang his hat on? And it's crickets, right? We don't. What you're essentially saying is, what is this team's identity, right? What is this team's identity? And they have to have one. The Lions, Dan Campbell and any good coach, they create an identity for the team. And I'm not sure he's done this. And with regards to these negatives, he's not putting Jordan Love in a position to succeed in terms of the offense. Okay?
So, Jeff, hold on another second. Because I'm glad you brought this up. Because I want this to be a back and forth with you. Because I'll be honest, when Brittany was talking about that, it was your call that I was thinking of. Because I remember the soft conversation.
You were cheating on Brittany's call with Jeff?
Well, I wasn't like I was.
Whoa.
I was more daydreaming of
Brittany,
an ice cream.
I apologize.
I was thinking, God, you're a little difficult today. I'm not gonna lie.
Hope Jeff's
you
okay.
say that every day.
That's true because you are. But I was thinking, oh boy, it sounds like fun to take the ferry to go get ice cream. That's what I was thinking more than anything.
That's what LaFleur is thinking too.
But Jeff,
Matt LaFleur.
Here's the thing about what you said, and then I want you to finish. But I think the identity, like, what is the Rams' identity? Like, I think these teams that run this offense, the identity is, now the Rams, they have Aaron Donald, right? And I don't know if
Kupp and Stafford is what their identity is.
Right, but their identity is a scheme that creates open receivers and makes the offense go. Fair, right? That's not really much of a.
Yep.
That's not much of an identity. It's certainly not one that you can you're walking around puffing out your chest, go, hey, you know what our identity is? We got a good scheme that gets guys open. You got to be more than that, and they aren't more than that right now. Thank you for letting me interrupt you, Jeff.
Yeah. So here's the deal. If you look at what Holmgren did, and you look at what McCarthy did when they had young quarterbacks, Favre and Rodgers, they started out the game doing whatever they could to get them into a rhythm. That was really, really important to both those coaches. Get them high percentage, short passes, even if and get a drive going and things like that. And it's almost, and then as the game went on, they
took the reins
more of the
off
offense open up.
Yep.
Right, open. Whereas what he's doing is he's starting in the fourth quarter and the first quarter. It's just ridiculous. He's not putting his quarterback in a position to succeed, in my opinion. The fact that when they got the ball on the 15-yard line, I don't care what you run the ball. Let's say you get 3 yards. You have 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7. He's just not putting this guy in a position to succeed to start the games. He's a young quarterback, and that's one of the reasons why they're starting off so poorly, is to start him off and get him into a rhythm. I mean, he's young. He needs that. He's not a 8-9 year veteran. So that's that in conjunction with not using his running game is just a problem. And then, of course, like I said, 6 weeks ago, his other problem, his other negative is he had a golden opportunity to move on from Barry. Andy Herman posted a snapshot of how bad the Packers defense was down on the 3-yard line when he's got 2 defensive linemen and it's 2nd and goal, and they've got one of the they got this beefy running back who can run people over. I mean, it's just like he's continually outcoached. Now these are the two we got to have 2 positives, all right? I want to have some positives. So one of the positives I'm going to say is our kicker. The rookie kicker. I think he seems very at ease, very comfortable, and is doing a nice job. Okay? And the other positive, I'm going to say this, is I think Jordan Love. All right? Did he play great? No. But there's something about him, and I don't know, Tausch and you both can, I love your comments on this. There's something about him. He kind of reminds me of Favre a little bit, that he is just going to keep going after it. And you know what? People are like, well, he really looked nervous in the pocket. I don't know. How many quarterbacks do you know with that kind of incessant pressure would not look nervous in the pocket? I mean, but my point is, he came back, and he didn't let it unravel him. And I think, obviously his accuracy needs to improve, and that'll improve with time. I watch him, and did he play great? No. But I do get the sense that he's got what it takes.
Yeah, I think that there are encouraging signs, and thanks for the call, Jeff. I like the fact that he doesn't get frazzled. I like all those things about him. I don't know about the consistency of accuracy. I think it has improved from the start of when I saw him to now. I thought he was more inaccurate last night, and maybe that was because of the pressure. But I did not think he threw the ball where he wanted it as frequently as he had previously. And that, when you play a good defense, that's a concern. That maybe that is a sign of getting a little bit rattled.
And to Jeff's first point about getting a rhythm, Favre would fire a ball out of bounds and Holmgren would be happy,
right?
Just to kind of calm him down. Hey, that's what LaFleur tried to do last night. It wasn't like they were taking a ton of shots. They were trying to get him into a rhythm because they thought it was going to be tough sled and run the football. Hey, you know what? They were right. They manifested that.
Yeah, well,
So that's what tried. And when you struggle like they did, then you're behind, and all of a sudden you look up and bam, 27-3.
Yeah, well, you get the ball on the 15-yard line. You're incomplete to Aaron Jones on a short pass. Then you get sacked for a 9-yard loss. It's hard to get into a rhythm when those are the results of your first 2 plays. Hey, Muskego, stand up. Be proud. Jesse Nelson is from your town. But more importantly, you now have your very own Fleet Farm. They're there. The brand new store is now open, and you can come find everything you need for your everyday life, from pet supplies and fall yard care to hunting gear and automotive essentials. You'll find it all in one place at Fleet Farm. Remember, on Saturday, that's tomorrow, from 10 to 2, they've got their Fleet Farm Kids Pumpkin Painting going on. First 300 kids that come and paint a pumpkin with all their favorite colors to display this fall. Visit FleetFarm.com to find out more. Fleet Farm, find everything you need for your everyday life at Fleet Farm. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, Zimbrick Chevy continues to prove to me why it's recognized by so many as one of the best operations in the greater Madison area. Recently took my Chevy Tahoe in for some routine maintenance, and the entire experience was smooth with outstanding communication. Here's how they did it. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, received real-time status updates via text to see how things were going from the second I dropped my car off. And my guy Jason, he shared that I could text him any questions as updates continued to come my way. It's just another way the service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie continues to evolve and improve as a best of Madison operation. And you can take my word for it. Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust. View inventory, schedule a service appointment, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers. Positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. To apply today, go to stojobs.com. Former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr was on Rutledge and Hamilton on ESPN Madison earlier this week and speculated on Wisconsin's offensive identity with 4 games in the books.
I think the identity is we're a team that we really want to run the ball. We want to open up and get some of our receivers involved early, which I think can help tremendously. It'll definitely loosen up that box, make guys respect the pass game.
Find the full conversation with Chris Orr on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Rutledge and Hamilton.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com.
Football fans, tailgating season is here, and there's no better way to celebrate football being back than with BotaBox. BotaBox is giving away tickets to 2 separate winners for a VIP Tundra Trio pregame tailgate party experience and game tickets for December 3rd's Green Bay versus Kansas City game. Fans can enter by scanning the QR code posted at participating BotaBox retailers in Wisconsin through October 29th. Winners will be announced on October 30th. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 years or older to enter. BotaBox Vineyards, Manteca, California. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for more details.
Getting a new computer is both fun and terrifying for many people. Madison Computer Works makes moving to a new computer easy. We help protect it from malware and scammers. We move your data and reinstall programs. Our computer care plan lets our friendly techs assist you remotely once you bring it home. Already bought a new computer? Try building one from parts you ordered online. You have better things to do with your time than set up or fix your computer. We'll get everything working right. Call the pros at 608-231-8000 and make your computer problems disappear. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
All right, I'm McCarthying the clock as it's 10:59 as we haven't finished the 10 o'clock hour. Jesse, I know you've got...
Very frustrating.
I love Mike. I know we've got a couple more calls to get to. I was going to go to Nick and Tosa. a word from you before that.
Yeah, when you're on the phone with somebody, how many times do you ask them to repeat something because you can't hear what they said before you just give up and guess? Because Nick was calling and there was some background noise with his call, and he said, "This is Nick in," and I asked him like 3 times, and then like I couldn't hear him the third time. It sounded like Tosa. I have no idea if he's actually in Tosa or not.
He could be in Texas.
Like, it could be a bunch of different things, but I didn't want to ask him a 4th time. I felt like we were both getting frustrated. So, like, what's the protocol on that?
Well, I definitely know what it's like to get
enough.
frustrated with you.
2's enough, Jesse. Once it's twice, then you just let it rip.
Okay. Well, Nick's calling from somewhere that might be Tosa.
Joining us from parts unknown, it's Nick, perhaps in Tosa. Nick, good morning. Thanks for holding on so long. Where are you?
I'm in Avoca.
I'm sorry, where?
Can you hear me?
Oh, Boca.
Boca.
Boca
He's in the Volga River?
No,
Del
Avoca.
He's in the Volga
Vista?
River.
Avoca. It's Avoca.
Oh.
And what state is
Almost
that
like
in?
avocado, but shortened.
Yeah, it's in Wisconsin. It's 15 miles west of Spring Green.
How many times have you had to explain where your
I want
town
to guess
is?
where Avoca was.
Well, let's put it. Sorry, you want to guess the population?
I do.
Nick
are you
listens to the show.
Are you sure you just don't mean
325.
Viroqua?
325
no, it's
people.
You're low.
Okay.
It's 563.
No,
way off.
I was in the ballpark.
we
Bob
have 2
Barker would
bars,
have been
one-
mad at that guess. I'll tell you that.
R.I.P.
Yeah, Bob, you were under. You didn't go over. So
There you go.
All
my
right, Nick.
negatives are. What's that?
I said, all right, Nick, what do you got at Avoca Vista?
Okay, so my negatives are. Why are you putting on NFL games on Amazon Prime? Is number one. That really, it's not right.
Money.
I mean, there's so many people
Money.
that didn't have it, and the other negative is the game itself. It was horrible to watch, except for the first Detroit drive where we intercepted the ball. The next Detroit drive, we almost intercepted the ball. I ended up getting a 29-yard gain, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
The only true positive I can think of this was they didn't kill Aaron Jones.
They tried on that triple option.
Oh my God! What are they thinking? You're running an option play, and then you're going to put your two people that you need on this team to succeed out there to get killed.
Yeah. Well, at least they did it with Jaden Reed in the first game, and he got walloped, and now it was Aaron
The play calling
Jones.
was horrible all game long. But hey, I got to get back to work because I'm mowing fairways at the golf course.
Mowing.
So, yeah.
Well,
So the other guy that's living down in, I can't remember where it was. I mow
Brandon
every
in
other day. It's not
Tulsa.
that bad.
Yeah,
It's nice and
yeah.
relaxing.
all right. Well, enjoy
Hey,
your
isn't
mowing.
it great?
in Avoca.
Do you have the mower that does the greens, or are you just mowing like the fairways? Because the greens look like it'd be fun to mow.
I just do fairways, and fairways are nice and relaxing. You can just cruise along. You got a nice long way to go. You know, you can see golfers coming from a long ways away. On the greens, you got to be a lot more careful.
Yeah, you do.
So
you ever get hit with a ball?
I was just going to say, is it different than driving the cart that picks up the balls on the range where everybody's trying to hit you? Are you usually safe when you're mowing the fairway?
I've had a ball hit my tire. I've had one go by my head. Best thing about it is you find so many golf balls, and you know where everybody hits them in the woods, and you go check it out every now and then.
All right, well, Nick, all I can say to you is thanks for the call, and 4!
Nice.
We appreciate the call.
Good one.
The Boca of Wisconsin.
You know, I'm
pretty
just
good.
going to stop
It's
trying stuff
pretty-
with you. I give up.
It was pretty good.
I give up. Nope, done with you.
Stop being a quitter. Oh, God.
Stop.
What are you?
Quit.
Are you serious?
Quit being a quitter.
Are you being serious?
11 o'clock hour will begin after Tausch tells us about AmFam. And I have definitely not quit on AmFam and this contest that you keep telling us about.
Badger fans, it's exciting. It's exciting season. We got a little bye week this week, but it's getting fired back up. And American Family Insurance wants to give you and a friend a VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game during the 2023 season. You and a friend will receive pregame sideline or courtside passes tour of the facility, and tons of great merch to support your Wisconsin Badgers. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. No purchase is necessary. Drink fearlessly. Insure carefully.
The 11 o'clock hour. We'll get to some of your text messages. Still time for another call or two if you want to get in. 844-770-3776. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Major League Baseball's Wild Card Series on ESPN Radio. Welcome to the postseason. Both the American and National League Wild Card Series begins Tuesday on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Prairie Athletic Club will meet all of your family fitness needs this fall, and it's all under one roof. Registration is now open for dozens of youth programs to keep the kids busy, all while you're getting fit too. Hurry now, the Pack is offering their best membership specials for the remainder of the year. Stop by Prairie Athletic Club today or visit prairieathletic.com to check out the youth programs and membership specials. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
Want to join the fastest growing residential solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and is growing to Milwaukee. As a local company based out of Madison, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Everlight Solar. Save money and save the planet.
Hey, this is Eric Name of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. I want to get to your text messages. We got to get to trivia. Hopefully from someone out of state. Or a first-time caller. Or maybe both. But let's get to one more call on Packers-Lions before we move on to your text messages. Let's go to Doug in Milwaukee. Doug, thanks for waiting so long. What do you got for us, bud?
Hey guys, my scapegoat for this is Mark Murphy. And the reason I say that is you have a GM, Brian Gutekunst, who spent a lot of capital, first-round picks, free agents, etc., hiring people for the defensive side of the ball. Matt LaFleur hires his buddy, who's got a proven track record of failure as a defensive coordinator. And after last season, an additional GM-coach relationship, the GM would have said to LaFleur, your guy's got to go. And he would have had authority to do that. But in Mark Murphy's system, Gutekunst can't tell LaFleur what to do. And so because he's created this dynamic where LaFleur can do whatever he wants, Gutekunst can draft all the guys he wants, all the talent he wants, and he can't do anything when Matt LaFleur refuses to hire somebody competent to employ those people that he's drafted.
So let me flip that on you, Doug, and tell me this. If you have that much talent, theoretically, if your scouting is correct, and remember, Jair Alexander didn't play last night, so that changes, obviously, your coverage in the back end, right? You're playing Carrington Valentine, who is injured himself, at one of your corner spots against a pretty decent wide receiver crew, right? You've got two of those first-round picks are second-year players. I'm waiting for Devontae Wyatt to make a jump. He has not impressed me. Quay Walker, I am a fan of his athletic ability, but he clearly is experiencing his own growing pains. LVN plays a handful of snaps. He is just like Rashawn Gary. We know what Rashawn Gary became, but in his rookie year, he didn't play a ton. Is it possible that despite that number of 8 first-round picks, you got one who's not playing at all, right? Eric Stokes is out still. Is it possible that maybe it's not as much talent on that side of the ball, and maybe Joe Barry doesn't suck as much as it feels like he does? Do we have to at least acknowledge that as a possibility?
I would say ordinarily, yes, if it was a first-time defensive coordinator. But when you have a guy who has a complete track record of failure, including a season where he went defeated, there's nothing in Joe Barry's resume at all that says this is a high-quality defensive coordinator. Yep. And the results that he's proven the last couple of years shows that he's not a high-quality defensive coordinator. Stopping the run, any high school team, any Pop Warner team, look, you can stop the run with effort and scheme. The guys that were missing were on the back end. It wasn't the pass that was killing us. It's the basic run. And if you can't scheme it up, and if it's not important, which Joe Barry's basically admitted it's not important to him to stop the run, he wants to stop the pass, then you get what you get.
Yeah.
And you don't throw a fit.
Nice. The other thing I would say is that the last time the Packers played on Thursday Night Football, they said, we're stopping the run at all costs. Remember that game? We talked about it last year as being one of the most important games of the year after you had just had a 14-point rally in the fourth quarter to beat Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys. Quick turnaround.
Validation Thursday.
Right?
Thursday.
That's what I was trying to think of is what you called it because that was perfect.
And it actually did validate what that team was.
Well, that's fair.
Last night was kind of Validation Thursday, too, in a couple of ways.
No, this is a whole different ball game. I am analyzing this team in a whole different light than what I analyzed last year's team.
But that game, better for worse, Joe Barry said we're not going to let Derrick Henry beat you, right?
And we would have railed against him on a Friday morning if Derrick Henry had 180 with 3 touchdowns.
Correct. And Matt LaFleur, as part of the many things he said last night about getting whooped and manhandled and embarrassed and humbled and everything else, was that you should be able to take something away, right? That was what he said about stopping the run. And I want, and as much as I wanted to be the next Pete Doherty and get that's a BS question, Jason, out of him, I did want to point out it was the last question, so I didn't get a chance to. But you did it last year. You said we are not letting Derrick Henry beat us. And instead, Ryan Tannehill beat us. Do you remember his stat line?
It was over 300 yards passing.
I looked it up. He was 22 of 27 for 333 yards. He threw 5 incompletions. 5?
Yeah, it's a pretty good day. Pretty good day.
But
for
hey,
Tanny.
they stopped the run. So. When Matt LaFleur said that last night, that was the first game I thought of, and I thought of Ryan Tannehill.
Are we going to address? I think the Packers might just stink on Thursday Night Football at home. Like, they lost to the Eagles a few years ago. They lost to the Titans bad last year. They lost to the Lions yesterday. Like, it's kind of a trend here. Thursday night games at Lambeau are not good.
Jason, do you think fans view it the same way as you do? That this is maybe more talent than what we think? Because everybody crushes Joe Barry. I don't know. I'm not even sure if Joe Barry's family is saying, yeah, you've done a heck of a job. Is this a thing where maybe we're looking at it and saying, yeah, this talent is overvalued and it's not very good?
That is the question I'm asking. Now, first of all, Joe Barry's family, they probably love him no matter what. They're probably saying something to the effect of, Dad, you got to stop the run.
Yeah, bring some more people down. Let's not let
you can't have 2 down linemen in that situation, Dad. Look, I don't. In fairness to both Goody and to Joe Barry, I don't know. Like, the problem, and look, I give you a hard time. I make you uncomfortable when I talk about your great NFL career. If the Packers had a Ring of Honor in addition to the Hall of Fame, you'd be in it. But you were a 7th-round pick, and you turned into a really good football player. I don't love using draft status as equating it to being a good player. Like, for example, Dayton Jones was a first-round pick. Turned out to not be a very good player, right? Nothing against Dayton, but probably shouldn't have been a first-round pick, right? Eric Stokes, now I don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back from his injury, but you were higher on him than I was at the end of his rookie season in 21.
I thought he was playing good ball.
Right?
Yep.
And if you were talking about first-round picks, I mean, I remember this vividly because it finally got me to stop reading at least comment sections when I would write stuff for The Athletic. People killed me for writing a very positive, hey, they were really excited about what Rashawn Gary could become, when his rookie year he barely did anything. Kenny Clark barely did anything his rookie year. And they became good players. That doesn't mean that Devontae Wyatt is going to. Right? Different people. Right? Every person is a different person. So, Quay Walker, lots of tackles. Had a play against the Bears. Whether or not he is a playmaker, we don't know yet. And we know some of the mistakes he's made to this point in his career. So, I just don't like, because it goes the other way, too. All that crap about how Rodgers never had a first-round wide receiver, right? I don't care. Devontae Adams, when you look at the career he had, there is no reason he should have been a second-round pick based on the talent that he has. Best receiver in the game, right? And Justin Jefferson, whatever. But we need to stop saying, unless we're just saying they've invested heavily, we need to stop talking about these guys are first-round picks because that doesn't mean they're playing at an elite level just because of where they were drafted. That's all. That's my point.
Yeah, but you do. There is a difference, and the expectation game is different. If you were piecing this thing together with 5th, 6th, 7th-round picks, undrafted guys, and you weren't getting the production you were looking for, you'd say, well, we need better players. When you have it this way, you are going to have different expectations. That's how the NFL works. And for everybody to say, well, I don't judge off of that, you're full of baloney. I know Homer and I get in this fight all the time. A.J. Hawk, if he's a 3rd-round pick, there's nobody complaining about A.J. Hawk's career.
I agree. But what I'm saying is...
But when you take him 5th overall, you're saying, I need to have Brian Urlacher 2.0. That's how this world works. It's not... Is it fair? Yeah, it is. You get paid a lot more if you're drafted higher. You're going to be expected more. When you have 8 first-round picks and you use all this capital on it, your defense needs to be better than what it is. Now, if that's scheme or if it's player, that's an argument I'm willing to have.
Right, but here's their starting lineup from last night's game on defense. Tell me how many of these guys are first-round draft picks.
Tell me how many.
At least that didn't have any high notes in it because that was at least listenable. Kenny Clark, T.J. Slayton, Devontae Wyatt. There's 2 first-round picks out of 3 up front, right?
Yep.
Preston Smith, Isaiah McDuffie, Quay Walker, Kingsley Enagbare. Okay?
Yeah.
In the back end, Rasul Douglas, Carrington Valentine, Darnell Savage, Rudy Ford. So 4 of the 8 started last night. Rashawn Gary's still on a pitch count. That gives you 5. Eric Stokes isn't playing. Jair wasn't playing. And Lucas Van Ness is a backup. Again, would you say that Darnell Savage, because he was a first-round pick, is a very good player? I would not. Would you say Devontae Wyatt, because he's a first-round pick, is a very good player? I would not. I know he had a sack last night. I'm just saying that doesn't automatically translate into production. I agree it raises expectations. I agree it is significant investment in that side of the ball. And we can go back beyond Goody's time as the GM and look at all the other draft picks that have been spent, the first-round picks on defense. Right? Bulaga, Derek Sherrod, Love. And that's the list, is it not? Going back to like 2010 when they took Clay
Sounds
Matthews and B.J. Raji?
Sounds about right.
In 09? So I'm just saying, that investment does not necessarily mean those players are good. We'll get to your text messages, 844-770-3776 at some point, but we do need to play trivia. Jesse, what's today's category, and what caller would you like?
Given the Packers' reaction today, I figured we wouldn't have time for our usual weekend preview. So how about this? Instead of the weekend recap like we do on Mondays, weekend preview trivia. Questions about the upcoming sports weekend.
Yeah, usually we pick games we're going to watch or not watch. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's different. You're trying something different. 27-3 was the deficit last night at the half. That is a 24-point differential. Had the Packers rallied to win, it would have been the biggest comeback in Packers history, but it wasn't. Caller 24 for Jesse. Caller 24, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We'll play trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Did you know that you can help support the many programs, benefits, and services provided to Wisconsin veterans and their families through the Veterans Trust Fund by simply making a donation on your Wisconsin income tax form? Your donation to the Veterans Trust Fund helps the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs with initiatives like Zero Veteran Suicide, programs that transition homeless veterans to stable housing. Donations also fund on-the-ground efforts by Veterans Service Officers to personally assist veterans in each and every county in Wisconsin. You can help support those who defended our freedom by making a tax-deductible donation to the Wisconsin Veterans Trust Fund. Every donation, regardless of size, is greatly appreciated. For more information, please visit wisvets.com. That's WIS vets.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, with funding provided by the Milwaukee Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
The standards have been set from quarterbacks that have been here before us, and you're trying to continue to raise your game until you get to that bar.
This is your Green and Gold Fix on 100.5 ESPN.
You're going to evolve throughout the course of the season. It's always the fine line of what's too much.
This Green and Gold Fix is driven by Metro Ford.
The first primetime game of Jordan Love's career as the Packers starting quarterback, not going as planned as the Packers fall 34-20 to the Lions. He throws 2 picks in the game, as their defense of the Packers also falling short. They give up 211 yards rushing. Here's Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think any time that you go out there and you can't effectively run the football and conversely can't stop the run, that's a recipe for losing football. And that's what happened tonight. And give Detroit credit. We knew they were a tough opponent, but they manhandled us really in every phase.
Now a bit of an extended break for the Packers. Their next game is October 9th, a Monday night contest in Vegas.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Hey, it's Stacy Bruner from Bruner Realty. People have been telling me that buying a home is nothing to joke about, so instead of telling you another real estate joke, I'm going to have somebody else do it.
Jesse Nelson here. What do you call a detective who's also a real estate agent? Sherlock Holmes.
Come on, Jesse, this is no laughing matter.
Well, when it's time to get serious about buying or selling, that's when people should do what we did and work with you.
Contact us at BrunerRealtyInc.com. Bruner Realty, homes to appreciate.
Hey, it's Alex Rowe. Football season is officially here, which means you better be doing it right with my friends at Door County Distillery. If you're a whiskey fan, you can't go wrong with the 9-time award-winning single malt whiskey from Door County Distillery. Maybe you like gin. How about that classic green bottle of gin from Door County Distillery? Or maybe it's the cherry brandy to mix up in your old-fashioned. Whatever it is, choose Door County Distillery. Visit their website, doorcountydistillery.com, for the retailer nearest you and all of those unique cocktail recipes. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2023 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with National Customer Credit. Offer expires October 2nd. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see our current electric vehicle inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Audi Madison off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
Big trailers and big opportunity. Since 1962, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business. With competitive wages and excellent benefits, plus growth and advancement opportunities, Stoughton Trailers is an exciting place to grow your career. Join the collaboration, innovation, and dynamic team atmosphere at Stoughton Trailers, with positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
All right, I need to clarify something before we play trivia. I am not... Somebody who made the comment during the week, Jesse, I don't know if it was in a tweet or a text or... I can't remember anymore. It's been a long week. But that I have a bias for... I'm against legacy trivia contestants.
There have been several people who have said that you show your bias quite frequently, and that you only
said
like
it yesterday too, and
you only like first timers.
I don't know. I don't say that I only like first timers.
There's also a portion of the text line that is mad at Chef Ed for playing all the time, although we haven't heard from Chef Ed in a while. But
he sent a tweet that said he was leaving the show for personal reasons. He's not listening anymore.
What?
Yeah. You got to go back and look. Look it up. Look it up in your mentions, bro.
What?
I don't know. Don't know what's going on there. I know Jeff and Monroe would never desert us. And again, I do like first-time contestants because it means we're expanding. I like out-of-state contestants because we're not supposed to have them. And I find that amusing. And that Jesse's bending the rules. But just because this guy's neither one of them doesn't mean that I'm not happy to have him. Jeff, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're great. No engagement updates as of yet?
I'll tell you what. Next time I call in will only be for that. I won't do the trivia anymore because obviously I
Yes,
get
you're
in too
hated.
often.
Yes, I hate you. Yes, I just wish you didn't play. Yes, so you've nailed it. Unbelievable. All right, here we go, Jeff.
Can I tell you a personal thing about me? Last week, you asked me a personal thing, and I gave you some lame answer. So I'm going to give you another one if I can.
We love lame answers around here.
I also play pickleball.
Jesse would like to challenge you to a pickleball match.
Second, what is that lame? Are you trying to say that's lame, Jeff? That you're playing pickleball?
No, I don't think it's lame.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
It's just something I have in common with Tausch. Probably one of very few things.
Many.
We haven't addressed the fact that we bought pickleball stuff on a whim and started playing like 2 weeks ago, have we? This hasn't come up. Not me and Jeff, like me and Beck.
I was just about to ask, who is we?
I mean, I would gladly play with Jeff. Go over to Baumgartner's after playing a little pickle.
Boy, you're making a lot of plans with our biggest fans. You got your watch party with Jim in Saukville. Now you got pickleball with Jeff and Monroe. You're crisscrossing the state
the bye
to
week.
hang out with our people.
Badgers bye. No Packers game this weekend. Just go around and see everybody.
but not Chef Ed, apparently. All right, let's play trivia, Jeff. The category is the weekend preview trivia. The question number 1 goes to the star of the program, Mr. Mark Tauscher.
All right, Jeff, which division rival do the Brewers host at AmFam Field this weekend for their final series of this 23 regular season?
Read the options. No, damn it.
He's a Brewers guy.
No.
What are you mad about? What are you mad at Jeff about again?
I'm not mad at Jeff. I'm mad at you. You paused, extended on purpose to let him say the answer because you didn't want to do C. That's why.
I'm not a good pirate guy. Yeah, that's true.
So your options, Jeff, were the Chicago Cubs, the St. Louis Cardinals, or shiver me timbers, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jesse, you should have known. All right, question
I'm
2.
actually upset with Major League Baseball for changing the schedule this year because we only got a couple of Pirates games compared to past years. I feel like we missed out on Pirate opportunities.
Yeah, and then there was that series in June against the Oakland A's. All right, question 2, Jeff. Which of these college football matchups this weekend features both teams ranked in the AP Top 25? Is it Oregon State at Utah at 8 p.m. tonight? Is that Eastern time or Central?
That is Central time.
USC at Colorado at 11 a.m. Saturday, or Georgia at Auburn at 2:30 on Saturday?
C. I'm going to say C.
Georgia, Auburn, are both teams ranked in the top 25. Jesse! Would you like to try and Tausch it, Mr. Pickleball aficionado, just like Tausch? Jeff.
Pickleball's not lame, okay?
I didn't say it was lame. You said you told us something lame about your personal life, and then I said, did you want to say something else lame? And then you said, I play pickleball. I didn't say it was lame.
I think I'm good at it.
Oh, God. Now that's lame. I think I'm good at pickleball. We're not talking about you right now. Yeah. B. Wrong, too. Well done. So, wait.
Thank you.
Is USC not ranked, Jesse?
No, Colorado's not ranked.
They went from the darling of college football to after Oregon kicked their butts, they're out of the poll.
Yeah, and they needed double overtime and a big comeback to beat Colorado State at their place.
Coach Prime. All right, the correct answer, Oregon State at Utah tonight at 8. That's the top 25 matchup out of those 3. All right, Tausch, you got question 3 to wrap it up.
For Sunday morning's Falcon-Jaguars game in London, ESPN Plus is offering a special alternate broadcast themed with which of these movie franchises? Is it Monsters, Inc., Toy Story, or Frozen?
A.
Brad and Baraboo's got a real good chance to win this.
I love that sound effect, man. I love that sound effect.
Thank you, Dennison Plover, for your wicked laugh. No, this will be a Toy Story-themed game, which I assume this is like CBS does the Nickelodeon-ified games, so now we're trying it with Disney franchises?
I don't know. I'm going to check it out. You know that.
Yeah.
Toy Story.
I'm going to as well.
They're saying like all the promos are like live from Andy's room. It's the Toy Story broadcast of Falcons, Jaguars. Sunday
Andy's
morning.
like 40 years old now.
Yeah, Andy's getting up there. He's going to be retiring soon, I think. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm interested, but I don't know if it's going to work. Toy Story.
All right, Jeff, I'm sorry. You got 1 out of 3. You got 2 out of the possible 4 entries, but you're in the state, so you have a chance to win still. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate it.
So you're saying I have a chance?
I'm saying you've got a chance. I'm saying you've got more or less of a chance than some of your other compadres. You definitely have more of a chance than the out-of-staters And I think you have roughly the same chance as the other in-state candidates to win. So I could do this on Prize Picks after I get done doing cricket, frisbee golf.
Yeah.
Is there a
Disc
pickleball
golf,
one?
Euro basketball, MMA, tennis, NASCAR, WNBA, soccer, you name it. Prize Picks has it. You pick 2 to 6 players. I go with 3. You can go with what you're looking for. 25x on your money if you go 6. You're not competing against others. Just you and the projections. Jesse crushed it last night with some of his picks. You got the NFL all weekend. It is a fantastic time. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up. Again, the New Heights fellas, Kelsey and the boys, just saw they're using. I don't know if they're using it, but I know they're endorsing the product too. I listened to New Heights. Prize Picks is on there as well. It's everywhere.
Taylor Swift. But you're not competing with Taylor Swift. You're just competing with the projections.
Yeah,
That's
I'm waiting
the
to
new
see if
tagline.
Prize Picks. I'm waiting to see if Prize Picks puts some. How many times Taylor Swift is going to be shown on TV? I haven't seen that yet on our Prize Picks app. But again, use that promo code WI for that 100% deposit match.
Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Dash the Dane. That's right, Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company has expanded their delivery offerings with DoorDash. New customers get $5 off your first order of $25 or more. And don't forget, Dash Pass subscribers always receive free delivery. Order delivery today at GreatDanePub.com or on the DoorDash app and get food delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, 'cause Truck Star Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts, because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truck Star Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truck Star is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truck Star Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
I only want Zach getting after Jordan Love like 2 or 3 times max.
You can't invite me on and then root for the enemy.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, Zach, you know how I root for Zach.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I dropped a big box of fruit on my foot. Now I cranberry walk. You like that one?
I do.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I actually like that one. And I'm not a dad joke guy.
I'm a fan.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you looking for a fast-paced job in a fun and exciting work environment? Look no further than Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. We offer a wide range of job and shift availability in both part-time and full-time positions. Competitive wages and great benefits await you at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Visit us in person or check out our website to see all of our job openings. Make work fun and apply for a job at Madison's only casino.
Mark Tosher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at titostailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit titostailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Should've known by the way you passed me by, there was something in your eyes and it wasn't right. I should've walked, but I never had the chance. Everything got out of hand and I let it slide. Now I only have myself to blame for falling for your stupid games. I wish my life could be the way it was before I saw your face. You stole my happy, you made me cry. Took the lonely and took me for a ride. And I wanna
Time now. Jesse, do you have help on Whoa Nelly?
I might need it with drawing this trivia winner.
Oh, yeah, there's like 4 whole chips in there or something like that. I don't see you there.
There
There you are.
All right, so here's the deal. I wanted to have fun with this, and for those who played that were ineligible to win trivia, I still put them in the helmet. Because I want them to know that they would have won and been drawn as the winner. But they will be ineligible as long as we go.
So wait a
See, that's that's like no deal, deal or no deal. I don't want to know that at the end, do you? It ends up making you feel worse.
You don't think Todd in Columbus, Ohio, or Nathan in Florida wouldn't want to know
that they would have won?
That they would have won if they lived in the state, in Columbus, Wisconsin, or in Avoca, Wisconsin. They would have been the winners.
Avoca Vista, yeah. I'm a big fan of Avoca, yeah.
I think you'd want to know.
Okay, well, let's go then.
It's like Penn State and Ohio State that year that Wisconsin was 6-6 and won the Big Ten. Like they were 12-0 or 11, whatever they were, but couldn't do it. Ineligible.
Yeah, so they break the rules.
And then Melvin Gordon went off. All right, so drawing from the cheese fry helmet with all the chips, even the ones that don't count.
Oh, boy.
Number 2 is Todd in Columbus. That's ineligible.
Way to go, Todd!
Todd would have won. All right, now how far do we have to go to get an eligible winner? Number 4. That's a winner, Paul in Fond du Lac.
Hey, good on you, Paul.
Tausch's favorite city in Wisconsin. Paul represents. Take your winnings to the Dock Hounds game, or the Dock Spiders game. Dock Hounds.
If it was the Dock Hounds, I think Tausch would go.
That's a different team. Yep.
That's a
he's
dog,
he's
right?
afraid of the itsy-bitsy Dock Spiders. Time now.
Dachshund. Really tough dog to spell. Dachshund.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Doxa Cycling. Earl Dotson. I don't know. Where was I supposed to go with that?
Wherever you wanted.
So what's a fair time to leave a game?
Whenever you want.
We talked briefly about this the other day when Hunter Vaughn left the Brewers game early when they were going to win.
Celebration Tuesday, they called it, yeah.
The Brewers have won the division 4 times in our... He's about the same age as me. They've won the division 4 times in our lifetime. And one of the 4 times he was there and willingly left early before the champagne celebration and the fans watching the Cubs lose and going nuts. Like, to me, super IPT to leave that one early. Last night, Lions go up 3 scores with 6 or 7 minutes left. We and many other fans started to hit the exits. What's a fair time to leave early?
Listen, I am not one to. I can critique and analyze, but if you want to leave at halftime, leave. Now, when there's celebrations and big moments, no hitter going on, or a chance to clinch something big, I think you probably want to stick around. But if it's a Thursday night game, and Jesse, you have to work, and you need to get back, leave whenever your little heart desires. You paid for the tickets. Or you got them free.
Wait a minute, you got them
Irick.
free, right?
Yeah, they were free.
I think you got them free from Irick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not from Irick.
So if that's the case, do whatever you want to do with it.
No.
But ideally, I think you want to stay for the full freight. That's an ideal deal, but it's not. Life isn't always ideal, as we all know.
So I left a Packers-Seahawks game at County Stadium in 1990, and Blair Keel led a furious comeback after I left. And
Number 10? Was Blair Keel number 10?
I think so. I'll have to look that up, but I think you're right.
Same as Jordan Love. Okay.
Who has led a couple of good comebacks himself. But I think you can leave whenever you feel like you need to, right? If you got to work in the morning, whatever. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life as a fan. But the FOMO of leaving a game early and missing a comeback or missing a really cool moment or a memorable play, that stings. That's not fun. That sucks.
I agree.
So,
Agreed.
That's my take.
Well, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
Nope, we were good last
night.
night.
How much time did you shave off by leaving early?
Probably like 20 minutes. I think we would have got home around 1:15.
That's it?
I think we would have got home.
That's not very much.
That's pretty significant in the grand scheme of things.
Now, wait a minute. Had you stayed to the end, though, the traffic would have been worse getting out, right?
Right.
So it's probably more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, by the time we got to our car, about 20 minutes had elapsed in real time. And then,
Tausch, I knew what you were asking. I was just trying to help.
I know. Jesse, come on, man. Like, when you left, how much time did that save you to get home? Probably 3 hours.
Yeah, we would have got home at 4 in the morning if we had waited till the very end of the game.
It is
smart move by us.
It is the worst part of Lambeau is the fact they got 2 exits going out, and
rough.
all these cars pulling onto there's 2 roads to get out. Open up Oneida the whole way. Open it up and let everybody get out.
Tear
you can't
down
come
that
this
wall,
way,
Mr. Gorbachev.
Well, you have to. Come on, man. Maybe then people won't sell their tickets to Detroitans and everything else, and you actually get the hell out of there at a decent
The
time.
one way
Come
on Oneida seems like a good idea, but how do you get on to 41 then?
Put those things like they do at AmFam Field. Put the little deals out there.
But you can't.
Only go here.
No,
Boom,
but
boom.
then you have to get onto the highway. You can't just merge from the
Right,
exit
so there'll be a
ramp.
backup then trying to get onto.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. That's a
you
fair
guys-
point. But they've got
It's not a fair
engineers for
point.
that
You
kind
put
of stuff.
Put the little those movable deals and curve it, and just have a bigger curve going on. It's simple.
Whoa, Nelly!
Okay. Didn't you get stuck coming out of like AmFam Field after a concert? And they've got a pretty good system too, but you still getting on the highway is where you run into the issue. They do a great job of shepherding you out of the parking lot then.
It ain't about the highway, bro. It's about getting to the highway. You're always like exulting when you get on 94 out of AmFam Field. You're exulting.
Right,
you
'cause
get
it's so
on
hard
to
to get to the
41.
highway.
If you can get on to 41 and take some of the frontage roads and things like that, you feel, oh, I'm finally getting moving. Okay? It's getting there is the worst part of doing this.
Right. That's what we just said.
I don't think you
If we really want to talk about it, let's get 41 down by Fond du Lac open to 3 lanes. Why are we still doing 2 lanes there and everything comes to a...
Hey, don't you besmirch Fond du Lac. Paul and I will come to your house.
With your ESPN prize pack.
All right, guys.
Oh, no.
Are we doing it or not? Survivor picks week 4 after a bye/Texans pick last week. You gonna do it or no? Decide now if
count me
you're
in.
either in and we keep
I'm
doing
in.
it, or we're done and we never play again.
I'm in. We're just hitting.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
starting
voting
fresh.
done. Yeah, I'm voting done.
Jesse, I guess it's just you and I.
I'm voting.
It's a democracy.
I vote we keep going. Survivor picks.
Not as big of a fan of democracy now.
Who you taking? NFL slate this weekend. A lot of crappy
you guys
games.
go ahead. I got to look at the games.
All right,
Go
I'm
ahead.
taking the Jaguars to win at home in London over the Falcons.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't used the Jaguars yet, and apparently it doesn't matter if you get Survivor eliminated because we just play the next week anyway, so what the hell?
I'm just playing for fun on the side. I'm taking the Cowboys at home over the New England Patriots in a bounce-back game.
Oh, interesting.
I can't find it. The Cardinals have a bye this week? I can't
No,
find
they
the
play
Cardinals
at
anywhere.
San Francisco.
Oh, they're at San Fran. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's too easy.
Chiefs at Jets?
All right. No.
Seahawks
I am
at
gonna
Giants?
go-
Raiders at Chargers?
You know what? Because this thing has become a complete fraud, Denver to beat Chicago.
Why? Because it's a fraud. I kind of like that idea. Especially if the Bears
No,
win.
I mean,
don't
this
really
game has become fraudulent. We take a week off, and then next week I'll say, oh, we're not going to do it.
You know, you could have picked the
fraudulent.
Cardinals, and then the game might have been over, and then we wouldn't play anymore if Jason's right. But if you both get eliminated, then everybody's back in, and then we get to start the cycle all over again.
But wait, you just picked
the other
game
one that I
anyway.
feel
You were
great-
eliminated in week 1.
Chargers are the other one that I like a lot.
Chargers to beat the Raiders.
You know what? How much time do we got? Let me do this, so it's got to be official.
Yeah, I got to lock it in, show it to the camera like they do on the show.
All right.
Yep. There it is.
See, what's
Chargers is the pick from old
What does
T.
that say?
Chargers.
It's like a
You don't want to
variety
see?
of
Can you see what finger I have up? Can you see what finger I have up behind that sheet?
upper and lowercase mixture. It's beautiful. All right, so for a guy who thinks this is stupid that we brought it back, that was really fun. I enjoyed
Jesse,
that.
would we get in trouble if I flipped you off on the camera because that's not FCC regulated? Right?
I wouldn't like to find out.
I'm just curious because at some point I'm going to because I get irritated.
Kids
with you
watch the video
Will I
stream
get
too, Tausch. I don't know if you want to start a reputation.
Just hang loose, baby.
Okay.
Just hang loose.
Did you put the poll in the field yet? Probably not, huh? Long night. That 20 minutes you saved.
Again, you're forcing me to defend Jesse. He sent you a text with a picture of the poll asking
didn't
if
like
it was
that
okay
poll.
or not.
I didn't like it. I liked.
And then I asked you
Everybody
a
that
follow
called-
up, and then you never answered.
Guys,
You'd said a different
I did
question.
answer. You guys, everybody that has called in today, and we had a lot of callers, they implied that this team is soft and that Matt LaFleur is soft. That was the motif of the show today.
Not every caller did not say that. That's not true.
The vast majority. Vast majority.
Like 3 of the callers used the word soft. 3. That's not the vast majority. You and your fists
Keep
of
them
fingers.
down. Keep them down.
Get to break. Get to break. It's coming. I'm ready to wind.
Well, on that note, we'll finish out the week with Feel Good Friday, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and even though it's not a Victory Friday on Wilde and Tausch, it's still another Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. You can take my word for it that you will be feeling good if you trust the pro painters at Home and Lindsay for your next paint project, just like my family did. The pros did the job so much better than we could and made the whole process incredibly easy on us. All you have to do to get connected, stop into any of Home and Lindsay's Madison area locations, ask, and they'll help you find the pro painters that are perfect for what you need. Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the pro painters at Home and Lindsay Paints. Home and Lindsay, great paint, great people, and stick around for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com. Former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr was on Rutledge and Hamilton on ESPN Madison earlier this week and speculated on Wisconsin's offensive identity with 4 games in the books.
I think the identity is we're a team that we really want to run the ball. We want to open up by getting some of our receivers involved early, which I think can help tremendously. It'll definitely loosen up that box, make guys respect the pass game.
Find the full conversation with Chris Orr on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Rutledge and Hamilton.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. We're the trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. There's a reason so many customers recommend us after we help with their projects. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
Did you know that you can help support the many programs, benefits, and services provided to Wisconsin veterans and their families through the Veterans Trust Fund by simply making a donation on your Wisconsin income tax form? Your donation to the Veterans Trust Fund helps the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs with initiatives like Zero Veteran Suicide, programs that transition homeless veterans to stable housing. Donations also fund on-the-ground efforts by Veterans Service Officers to personally assist veterans in each and every county in Wisconsin. You can help support those who defended our freedom by making a tax-deductible donation to the Wisconsin Veterans Trust Fund. Every donation, regardless of size, is greatly appreciated. For more information, please visit wisvets.com. That's WIS vets.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, with funding provided by the Milwaukee Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 Best history. Your kids will call it totally lit. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the Incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Since 1956, Hallman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Hallman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Hallman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Hallman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durga, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sun.
All right, we're running out of time, so briefly for our Feel Good Friday painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. First of all, it was great to see Jeffrey from Celebrations last night. He was DJing at the Tundra Trio, so that was a feel-good item for me to see him. But it was Packers versus cancer last night. That hits me differently after what Paula endured a couple of years ago facing breast cancer. So I appreciate the Packers and their efforts to fight against cancer. Great fundraising opportunity at the stadium last night. Lots of people being honored for their battles against cancer. So congratulations to the Packers for doing such a good job of spotlighting that as one of their focuses when it comes to fighting cancer. That's it for us this week. No Packers game on Sunday now. No Badgers game on Saturday. Whatever will we talk about on Monday? We'll figure it out. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers